What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another installment of the Casually Chelsea show. I am accompanied by the panel of Ladimus Prime, Real Chicken Nugget Chris, and myself, Marshalldbdx. Before we start the show, which is a jam-packed show, guys, as always, smash those likes. Help us get to 3,000 subscribers by subscribing if you haven't done so already. I know a lot of you guys do watch the channel who are not subscribed. I see the data. I see the truth behind the wall and facade that is the show. So, hey, if you're here, if you keep coming back, if something just gravitates you towards Casually FC, but you're not subscribed, just hit the subscribe. Make your life so much easier, and we'll be no less closer to 3,000 subscribers, and we'll have a big surprise for you guys once we get to 3K. So check it out, guys. Appreciate the help. Check out the memberships as well, 4 different tiers, and let's get this show on the road because we have a lot of news to talk about, and who knows, there might be news that breaks out while we're streaming today. So let's start off with the first bit of news, working our way to the big news that we had earlier in the week. But starting off with sponsorship news. So apparently we have a few updates in regards to the Chelsea sponsorship, front of shirt, as well as worldwide sponsorship. So I'll start off by sharing this first tweet I have here from Casually FC. Chelsea have agreed a multi-year partnership with 8xBet, or 8 times bet maybe, to become the club's official betting partner in Asia Pacific. Then we have another betting partner with Africa, and that would be MS Sport, or M Sport, is proud to announce that we are now the official betting partner of Casually FC. Then we continue on. Chelsea will start the upcoming season without a front of shirt sponsor. Well, happens, but hey, we've been through this before. So we'll get out of this again. What, huh?
No sponsor from me. Time to get that shirt up again, because I bought it last year's without a sponsor. Beautiful.
There you go. I might have to do that this year.
I don't want to be a walking sponsor, man.
Okay. They are looking for a 1-year contract for the sponsorship. Then we have another one here. Chelsea shirt sponsor. An announcement of another shirt sponsor or a short-term deal for this season is expected soon. People on both sides who are familiar with the partnership deal have made clear that Infinite Athlete will not be the front of shirt sponsor. So, okay, maybe we did find something.
They didn't get that 6-year deal, man.
Yeah, maybe a short-term deal. I think it's because we're asking for Champions League type of money for front of shirt sponsors when we don't have it. We continue on. Chelsea's failure to qualify for this is just what I was talking about. Chelsea's failure to qualify for the Champions League has left them in a position as last year, or in the same position as last year, and there was no expectation that Infinite Athlete would divert from the strategic plan to commit to being the front of shirt sponsor for a second consecutive season. Continuing on, signing a short-term front of shirt deal with a company keeps cash flow ticking over for the season, and then allows Chelsea to reevaluate where they stand next summer. The hope is that they will qualify for the Champions League to maximize their commercial value. And I believe that's everything I have in regards to sponsorship. Yeah, that is. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know who is the front of shirt sponsor, if we have one yet. I haven't heard any rumors of it, but are you guys really that hurt by the fact that we don't have a front? I mean, it hurts us financially, obviously, right? But are you that upset of the fact that we don't have a front of shirt sponsor? Like, other fans seem to be embarrassed about it, but I could give less of a shit.
I'm not really, I'm not embarrassed. Like, it's a sponsor. We'll get one. Like, it took us, a month to get the Infinite Athletic sponsor. Honestly, it's a great time to get a t-shirt as a fan with no sponsor. Yeah. It's a great time to do that. So just, if you're going to get a shirt, do it now, and you won't be a walking sponsor, let's say that.
Unless you collect them, then don't get it now.
I did not see Will join. That scared me.
Sorry about that. Marshall, I didn't see your message on Discord, so sorry about that.
It's okay. It's easier for me since I'm
so the 8 ball is a gambling one, right?
Yeah.
I wonder what that logo looks like. It's
I
8x
really don't
bet.
want a gambling
That's
sponsor,
but
personally.
but it's not. But like, how does that work though? I meant to ask you guys. Like, there's an African sponsorship deal, betting sponsorship, and then there's the I think the other one was Asian, I believe, sponsorship deal.
Not too
So
sure.
we have a sponsorship deal for who we broadcast in each country or something like that.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
I don't know. Actually, I don't really know how it works. To be completely honest, I think it's just like being an ambassador from different parts of the world as a sponsor that we get close to. I don't know.
Marshall, it just helps with the growth of Chelsea as a brand.
Okay, fair enough. I just don't know, like, what are they sponsoring exactly? They just sponsor? They're like part of the sponsors of the broadcast. Like they I don't know. That's the part that confuses me because it's two separate continents. One's Asia and one's Africa, and it's like, okay, so is it like a broadcasting betting sponsorship deal? Like
It can be
that's the
any-
part where
It means
I know
yeah,
it's
for
the other
regions,
part.
is what Curry Power is saying.
I mean, Chelsea will be promoted and shown a lot more.
Well, that's good. We need that to happen.
Like,
And I don't know if, I'm sorry, I'll keep cutting you off. I don't know if that's something that we had under the Roman Abramovich reign.
we did.
It's
I think
not,
we did
but
actually.
under Roman, what we did have was
Love.
the best Ivory. What?
I said
We
love.
had what? We had love. Hey, Roman can rock. Anyway, we had the best Ivory Coast player. We had the best Ghana player. We had
Mhm.
top 5 best players in Africa. That's what we had. So,
Mm-hmm.
having
Yeah.
hopefully now signing Osimhen, we have Jackson. That could be a boost for us in Africa. We don't have any Asian players, right?
Yeah.
So doing this for Asia will help us grow there. Maybe sign like what Spurs have had with Son these past how many years? It's an easy
Mhm.
marketing tool for them to use. So I think that's what they're trying to do because we're signing all these South Americans. We already have a
Yes.
huge pull in Africa. Asia is a market that Chelsea have never really tapped before.
Mm-hmm. That
I
is
don't
true.
mind. It's not a big problem. Again, all of this is just to we know we want Jordan, and Jordan won't sign with Chelsea unless we're in the Champions League. Just get Champions League, and all of this won't be a problem.
Yeah. And it also does help with some cash flow, right? Like we do need to make profit from other. I feel like the way, and I'm not trying to bash on Roman. I'm just trying to point out facts and observations, right? I feel like the way the club was ran under Roman, I'm not doing that, versus how it's being run now, we're being much more commercialized. And I feel like it's all to the benefit of the club in terms of finances, which I feel like maybe under Roman, maybe because he was restricted from coming to the country and there was a bunch of other things with
He
that.
didn't care about the money.
Well, I don't know. It's
profit.
not so much
That
about
much.
making money off of it. I just think it's about making the club self-sustainable, And
He did
at
do that.
least to an extent, but
Later on.
I feel like maybe there was a lot of missed opportunities that maybe the people he hired, like a Marino or a Buck or whoever was in charge of these things, didn't really do well or exploit, try to take
I
advantage
can't
of.
lie. I think we should just copy and paste what Prime said before. I think we just did it in other ways, to be honest. As Prime said, we had superstars. I'm not saying we don't have any superstars now, but we had mostly superstars that could almost market for us. We had players.
We're doing that now
Yeah.
because we're about to sign Victor Osimhen. We've signed Kendry Paez, Estevao, who are big up-and-coming South American players.
Yeah.
We already have Moises Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah,
We're doing
Cole
that.
Palmer.
Yeah.
He's not really the face of England,
Cuckoo?
but sure.
I mean, he could be. He could.
Wait, what's the
we
Palmer?
never
I
know.
think Palmer's the most
Face of England.
Oh,
Palmer
he should be a main star. Like if he continues
gonna
his
be the
form for the
face.
next World Cup.
He's not going to be the face of England. He's not going to be the face of England.
No, it's Harry Kane.
Yeah,
until he
no.
retires.
I actually think he is.
Yeah,
the
but Harry
face.
Kane's only going to be around for so long.
Then I don't
Palmer
know
is
who after
the
that.
closest thing we've had to with everyone university rating him. He is effectively, he's nowhere near, but he's effectively what Hazard was now. And I'm not saying he's the same player,
Yeah.
but
course.
people
No.
were doing
The status.
celebration. People
No,
were doing
but,
his celebration and what.
I'm not talking about talent. I'm talking
No,
about.
I'm
Like,
talking about being marketable. Loads of people like
Yeah.
Cole Palmer.
Yeah, have you not
For
seen Olympics?
England,
They're doing this celebration and
I
shit
know,
like that.
but for England,
Yeah.
they won't market him. They will choose Kane, Declan Rice, Saka, Trent, Bellingham. They won't choose They won't choose. Palmer.
Maybe Saka, but I feel like Kane is on his way out the door, right? Like he can only play for so much longer, right? I
Still
feel
in
like
the World Cup.
Declan Rice is a very polarizing character in terms of like just the.
I don't think he is. He's
I feel like
for England.
I feel like if Cole Palmer continues this
I
form,
don't
he
know.
will be one of the massive stars for England, and they will probably try
I'm
and
not-
market it well.
maybe.
We don't know. You could be right.
I've been watching England long enough. They never push the right people forward. So I know what they're going to do. They're not.
You know what, Jonathan, you're absolutely spot on. Bellingham.
Thank you.
Bellingham. Yeah,
But that's
Bellingham is the big
Bellingham.
PR one. Yeah.
But then again,
Bellingham,
I
Trent, Foden, Saka, all these guys.
I don't know about
can
Trent.
be
Trent's a fraud.
I listen. I love Palmer, but like, how do I say this? He's not marketable in the same way as a Bellingham, or as a Trent,
Mm-hmm.
or as a
I hear you,
Saka.
though.
For whatever reason, he's just. They're not going to push him like that. Maybe because, and
Yeah,
also
yeah.
because it's Chelsea, and so many people hate Chelsea, and the media hates Chelsea. Why would they push a Chelsea player forward?
Sure.
Lampard was one of the best midfielders in Europe consistently when
Yeah.
he was playing, and they still push Gerrard forward. They're not going to push our players
Mhm.
forward, so it is what it is. I've accepted that.
unless they're forced to, that could happen.
And why would
Palmer,
they be forced to?
because Palmer is universally
Unless
loved by
Palmer,
like casual football fans.
He become
by non-football
inevitable.
fans.
You know.
Frank
What's
Lampard
happening
was
like Ronaldo's
consistently.
done
Frank Lampard was consistently scoring.
But he had
20
scandals.
plus goals.
You've got to think about that as well. Like
What scandal did
Uh,
Lampard have?
Lampard weren't they all like on an airport, all drunk and hungover after being on a night out, cheating on all their partners?
And what did Rooney?
they
And
was-
what did Rooney do?
yeah.
Yeah, and Rooney
Rooney's done many
Rooney got fucked over by the media as well. Really?
But Rooney,
There's
Yeah,
a whole
Rooney,
media
Rooney's
about
always
it.
targeted.
Yeah.
Rooney was still marketable.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
not
actually.
really.
I'm not going to disagree.
To an extent.
He was.
To an
was.
extent, I feel like in that
Enzo
era, the
ain't
face
gonna
of
be more
England was
marketable than
freaking
Palmer.
Beckham, if anything.
Oh, of course not.
No, but Enzo has nothing to do with England.
Yeah, this is about England. That's what Prime's whole thing is.
Yeah. I mean,
that's
time
for
will
the
tell,
future,
obviously, but like I feel like I get where Prime is going with this initial argument, which was, Chelsea are going for very marketable players, it seems, with Cole Palmer and so on and so forth. I love the list of examples he said, and I think that, along with the sponsorship deals they're making and being more of a global brand, is going to help push Chelsea to a much more global audience than what it used to be. But let's go ahead and continue on here with the next part of the show, which is something. It's a small segment. I don't know if there's much to talk about, but apparently there's been a little bit of an update with the Chelsea investigation. I don't know if it's an update, but I guess another something that came up that was brought to my attention. So let's go ahead and read this tweet right here from Talk Sport. We have, and it's Talk Sports, so take it with a pinch of salt, right? But apparently, Premier League Chief Executive Richard Masters on the Chelsea investigation. Obviously, what we're talking about is something historic. It's complicated, where we have the club talking to us about things that happened under previous ownership. All I can say is that the investigation and discussions are reaching a conclusion, but until that happens, I can't say what's going to happen next. Now, I guess my follow-up question to that is, there's a theory going on that apparently perhaps maybe this reason, the precautionary steps to potential transfer ban, is why we've been stockpiling players. How do you guys feel about that sentiment?
We're definitely getting banned. You're spot on. We're definitely getting banned.
God damn. no fans or doubts. Jesus Christ.
I mean-
at least Roman loved us. At least Roman loved us. You know.
Yeah, he
Right,
gave
Chris?
us money,
At least he loved us, right, Chris?
Yeah, he
Huh?
gives a load of love, man.
Marshall,
Let's have
repeat-
it right.
After you stopped reading the quote, repeat what you said.
The question, how do you feel about the speculation that this is why we're stockpiling players, because of a maybe inevitable transfer ban?
Why would we get a transfer ban?
Does someone else want to answer that?
We didn't.
Roman loved us a lot, right? He loved us so much.
Oh, sorry.
you mean by
Bullshit. Roman did. Okay.
Are we
Yeah,
really
all the
deflecting?
Yeah,
I mean, this is
we
actually-
grasped on ourselves, and it's just yeah.
Hey, I would not.
I mean, it might not
thought-
be as bad because we grasped on ourselves, I guess. Since
Hey
we,
man,
gave
I
them
would
evidence.
rather have a transfer ban now and have watched everything I've watched. You know,
I
so
will
don't-
say, but
Is what it
sorry.
is.
If we do get Felix and Osimhen, we're set anyway for a couple of years anyway. We're set.
I have one
Okay, centre backs.
question.
Okay, centre backs is a bit ishy, but
No, but I have one question.
I got
have
faith
one
in
actual question.
Colwell. I got faith
So,
in Colwell.
During a transfer ban, can we sell players still? Can we sell players?
That's gonna be the issue.
No,
right?
I don't want to sell players. I don't want to sell.
No, the
players.
reason, no, but because if
I don't know,
I
actually.
mean when Osimhen flops in 2 years, I need to know if we can
right.
sell him, right, Prime?
Oh
I just
my
want to
And
make
God.
sure.
actually might be right, by the way. Like, I'm not gonna take it as a joke. He could flop. Like,
He
I'm
could.
not saying he is
Yes,
going
he
to.
could, but I don't think he will.
Until he's my
Chances we
player,
create-
I'm still gonna have the agenda I have on him. But the second he's my player, I will back him till the hilt, like every other player.
just-
He's not my player,
Marshall,
so I will wait.
Marsha, it disgusts me that you would have these. Let me not use the R word. Let me not use the R word.
No, not here.
Yes,
Alex,
please don't do that. Last time that happened, I got
that was used on
demonetized, so
me,
let's
and
avoid that.
bad things happen, man.
But it's CP. This R word CP.
Okay.
Anyways, he's not the
Jackson, I just have an agenda against Osimhen. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we can sell. Jonathan
Nigerian
was right. We
Lukaku.
sold Hazard. In a transfer ban.
I was. Don't
Okay,
hate.
as
Watch,
long as we can
Osimhen,
sell.
eh? Don't hate watch him.
No, we
Osimhen
Hazard
in
left
2 years. Okay,
before-
that's good.
Hazard left before I transfer ban, but yeah, you can sell during the transfer ban. You can't just. Also, you can also sign players during the transfer ban. You just can't register them to the club.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh.
No, it's not that you can't sign, but if you have a player who's on loan with an obligation like Kovacic, so that's what we're planning to do with Osimhen, right? It's like we want a loan with an option, but let's say it's an obligation even. So then we'll sign him for next summer.
No, because Barcelona signed Arda Turan when they had a transfer ban. But
Wasn't that on a free?
register. No, they
That was
signed
on a
him,
free, so
but
that
they couldn't. But they couldn't register him. He couldn't play for like half a season.
no, he.
He
How can he
couldn't
be
play
for
for
half
half
a
a season
season?
because he wasn't
He would be the entire season, no? Because it's the transfer bans for
No,
one
because
whole
of their
season.
transfer ban. Because of their transfer ban.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I haven't. Someone's mic keeps going in and out.
Yeah.
But regardless, I was worried about the selling of players during the transfer ban simply because we have so many players that if we were to get stuck with them, we would have the most bloated squad in the history of the Premier League. I guarantee
Well,
that.
It's okay. We'll be in. a
We'll
load
be
of
up there with
competition.
Nottingham Forest.
No.
Yeah, no, Cenac, exactly. That's what I mean. They couldn't register him as a Barca player, as in he couldn't play for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But
that's
it
what I
could
mean.
also be, like Dark's saying, it could also be BS. Like, we don't know exactly. Like, again, that's why I said it's Talk Sport. Take it with a pinch of salt because a lot of these guys at Talk Sport, these very old media heads, they waffle so much. I was just
Although-
talking to Chris backstage about Sky Sports and all that shit.
This has
Go
come
ahead,
from
Will.
his mouth though. This ain't like, to be fair, it's just the interviews he talks sports, so I would believe it, to be honest.
I think the
Go ahead,
best thing
Brian.
the club did was
Mm-hmm.
they self-reported all the stuff that happened on the Roman. They were transparent about it. That way, nothing crops up as if we knew about it and we hid it. So with this stuff going on, we self-reported on, the punishment will be a lot less. I don't think we'll get a transfer ban. I think at most it'll be a fine or something. But no way we'll get a transfer ban on something that we have self-reported that happened during a different ownership. It doesn't make sense.
I mean, I get where you're coming from, but also, you never know. These guys could be fucking harsh as well.
Do you know what's going to happen, Marshall? Do you know what's going to happen?
Go for it.
We're going to get a short ban, probably. I reckon a 1-window ban. So it'll be like, it'll probably be a 2-window ban shortened. Let's just say that. City are going to put all their money into lawyering up. They're not gonna admit it.
I swear,
And they're going to win their case.
I swear, City don't get bans and
They're going to win their
shit like
case.
that. I don't expect them to get relegated. I'm not gonna go that far, but if they don't get bans and shit,
They're going to do what they'll do to they did to Juventus. There will be similar punishment than
what
that.
relegation?
No. Juventus
you
scored
Juventus
them
didn't
up
get
there.
relegated.
They did
Yes,
years
they
ago.
did. You said they did.
Years
No,
years
no,
ago.
I don't mean
Years
like that.
ago,
I don't mean like
maybe.
that. I mean like
I
the
don't
recent.
think
They'll
we
follow
Oh.
suit with that.
Oh,
There's no way.
Hmm.
There's no way they can punish us and then not punish City. We'll get away with it. We'll be fine, and City will be fine.
They've done it before, though. I can't lie. They've done it.
This is a big
Yeah, I
one.
agree with Prime. I don't know if there's no way that they can do
Especially-
away with not giving
especially-
City anything and then us
Honest.
get some out punished for
Especially
something a
when
lot
you-
less.
well,
and we
that's
were
what
honest
look at
about it
Everton.
open.
we already
No,
happened
no.
to us in a way, right? Like we got punished by getting Lukaku instead of Holland. You know, we punished
No,
ourselves.
no.
We admitted he was
No.
shit. So
That's
it's
a
gonna happen
different
again
kind of
with
punishment.
Osimhen. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna happen again with Osimhen.
Jesus Christ.
What
yeah,
other
yeah.
try? You wanted Lautaro, right?
He wants
Yeah,
Lautaro.
the one who
We
won the Copa America, the one who scored the winning goal for the Copa America. And won
Golden
the
boot, by the way, golden
you
boot
can hold
again.
that. Yeah, you
Golden
can hold
boot
that,
again.
I
Yeah,
like
you can
CP
So
better
Lautaro-
when before Copa America.
CP wants more R word at this country. I get it. It's fine. Anyways,
Yeah, I want my Chelsea back.
You fucking Chelsea back.
Marshall.
There's no
it's
way.
different.
Hold on,
Marshall,
I'm
you know what's
checking.
different in the Everton situation? Because we've been
Yeah.
honest about what's happened. We've been honest about what happened. You
I
can't
mean, that's
punish
true.
us. We've told you what happened under a different ownership when we didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
You can't punish us for that.
That's kind of
Yeah.
crazy that we self-reported, though. That was a bold move, I would say.
It's not crazy. It's a smart move.
I mean,
Then when
Someone clip
when-
this in case we get banned. Please do. Please.
we're not, no, but listen, we'll get a fine or something. We're not going to get banned. Can't get
I
banned.
can hear the fine. I can really hear a fine. There's some
And also,
big fines
because
to make
if
them
you
happy.
ban us-
Nothing.
If you ban us, that means you have to punish City severely. They're not going to do that.
Exactly. If you're gonna be fair and you're not gonna be blatantly favoritism, then you have to. You really have
It's going to
to.
be like the third time Man City have just lawyered up, though, and just got away
But we
with
can
it.
lawyer up too.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
had
but
like.
we chose to report it, so.
No, but Will,
Yeah, so we're guilty.
no, but Will,
We'll lawyer up to find a loophole for the Osimhen deal.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
Gallagher's in the background, man. Come on.
no, Will, Will, that's the thing, though, bro. We've self-reported on what's happened. We've been honest. You can't punish us, but yet you're going to let the criminals go scot-free. Doesn't
Hey,
make
man,
sense.
it's not a fair world. It's a cruel world, you know.
And by
So-
the way, I believe that you're innocent. I believe they'll bust case. Don't come for me, Sheikh Calvin.
All I'm
115
saying is,
charges
are
and
we
you
actually
think they're
that
innocent.
Worse off to get a transfer ban, really? I don't actually think we're that worse off.
What?
Because if you don't
No,
really
I was
seem
just
be
about to
getting-
ask you guys: would you rather a transfer ban or would you rather points deduction?
Oh, transfer ban. Easy. Give me that. Now.
Do you know what? For the
I
agenda,
can't buy 20
point deduction,
fucking under
point
18.
deduction would give us more of an excuse if we fail.
No, I don't want that. I don't want that excuse. I don't want it. I want a transfer ban.
Why? Yeah. Why would you want an excuse? You could say the same thing for a transfer ban. Oh,
You
we
can,
failed
you
because
can.
we couldn't
Yeah, we
reinforce
didn't
in
have
the
Oh,
transfer
actually,
ban.
yeah. Give me another transfer ban, man.
There you go.
Transfer ban. I don't want to be Juventus.
No, because we have another transfer back. We can't sign any center back or a goalkeeper.
I mean, we got
Yeah.
Sanchez.
Oh, that's so
We
true.
got
but
we
what-
signed four keepers this season.
Oh.
We might have.
Oh my
we might have
god.
a hidden
Well,
gem.
Don't do
Speaking
this.
on keepers, we'll get to the keeper part
Come on, we
right
signed a
after.
Belgium.
Actually, you know what? Fuck
And we're
it,
getting
let's just do it.
Anselmino. We're getting Anselmino in Jan.
We signed
Our
a Danish
defense is-
keeper.
Our
So-
defense is so
Anselmino,
shit.
imagine he's like, oh,
Our
I don't want to talk about it.
Our defense is so shit that with
Yeah, everyone's saying ban.
we might not be good enough to get top four anymore.
Yeah, everyone wants a transfer ban.
Oh my
Alright.
god. Jonathan's right, man. We could get more Cobham players in. Oh, let's take the transfer ban. Let's take the transfer
Oh,
ban. Cobham
Fuck
FC.
off.
Transfer ban.
Fuck off. Fuck
We
off.
won't need to. We have a
To
lot
an
of
extent,
players
you know
in
what I
the
was
squad now.
thinking? Yeah, before we head to the next topic, you know what I was thinking? To an extent, I'm kind of happy this ownership came in and completely overflooded our team with youth people to the point that people are sick of the youth. That, like, you know, it's great because
Are we sick of the youth?
it counteracts the whole common sexual and
No.
promote the youth thing from the
But
Lampard
Marshall,
days.
we're still promoting the youth. They just don't come from our academy.
And then we sell them.
No, Marshall, you're wrong. People are not sick of youth. They're sick of us buying young players when we
That's
can just
true.
use our Cobham players.
Hey, well, fuck it. I try to be optimistic, guys, but y'all just bringing me down.
Nah, I don't mind buying better like, if they're actually better.
No,
Mm.
I'll take.
Yeah, I
I'll
don't
take
mind
a-
either.
They're done for
I can't
PR.
have another Cobham. I'll take.
We should have gotten Ronaldinho's son.
I can't.
We should have
I
got
don't
Ron.
want that. I don't.
He's gone to
I
Burnley.
don't want.
He's gone to Burnley. We could
I
have
don't
got him.
want that. I don't want that. I don't want that fraud, son. Anyway, I'll rather take a point deduction. I can't have a transfer ban and more Cobham.
Yo, we get Ronaldinho to the bridge.
Actually, I changed
Come on,
my
I don't
mind.
want-
If
take it.
if Jorgensen is good, I'll take the transfer ban. If not, no.
I'm taking that transfer
Alright.
ban. We don't need
Well,
more players.
Oh,
You-
Chris, famous last words, Chris. Famous last words.
Nearly 100 of you guys are watching. If you're brand new here, be sure to subscribe, and if you haven't done so already, smash the like. Let's try to get to at least 40 likes here. Let's go to the next topic that I had for you guys, which you guys brought up: goalkeepers. So let's talk about Mike Penders. Here we go. I wanted to talk
Baby
about this
Courtois.
last week. I wanted to talk about it last week, but unfortunately, so much news happened that I didn't get a chance to. So here's a quick little recap. Chelsea are still negotiating with Genk over 18-year-old goalkeeper Mike Penders should price be agreed. He will spend at least one season on loan back to Genk. Mike Penders has signed for Chelsea on a long-term contract. He will be loaned back to Genk for upcoming season, £17.1 million package plus sell-on clause. And then I don't know why this came out so small. What the hell? Mike Penders to Chelsea. Here we go. Deal in place for 2005 born goalkeeper to join club from Genk. Excuse me. Package up to 20 million euros. Add-ons included. Long-term deal. Chelsea see huge potential in Penders. He's staying at Genk for the next season and heading to London next June. So, package including long-term deal. Does anyone remember how long the deal is? I forgot.
7 years probably.
Probably so. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
probably.
just gonna give an estimate.
Does anyone know anything about this guy?
I watched
No.
one comp.
He's Belgium.
But can I say one thing though? Can I say one?
for it.
Actually, you go. So my one thing is this: I want no two-year loans in Milan, in Rome, in Napoli, in Barcelona, in Madrid, in Nice, and in Monaco.
not?
These are all great destinations. And if he finds a wife in 2 years and he's a baller, we're screwed like we are with Courtois. I want him to. He can stay 2 years in Stoke. I don't care where in Norway or Netherlands or some shit, but he's not staying at beautiful locations with beautiful women. No. We're staying away from that. We're staying away from that. We're staying away.
Fucking
Yeah,
minerals, bruv.
No minerals.
Don't, Marshall, stop playing that from that guy. Anyway,
Hey, man.
you're behaving as if you can't find a wife
Preach
in
never
Norway.
forget.
Have you seen the women in Norway?
Yes, but it's a cold location, my guy. He's not gonna do -40. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Once you get a woman in Norway, I don't care if it's cold. I'll be cold.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, anyways, nothing near the Mediterranean. Okay, I want no clubs that are near the Mediterranean Sea. Okay, women are gonna be sun-kissed, and so is the weather. No, thank you. No
Said
2 year
sun
loans there.
Bro,
Yeah,
do you know what women are like? Bro, women can make you do crazy things. This guy will move anywhere.
Okay, anyways.
Does anyone want to speak on Mike Penders?
I've watched one comp and he actually
Tell me, Chris. Or not Chris, I'm sorry, Will.
he actually looked really good in the comp. And I know comps are meant to make you look good, but I don't judge. I try not to like be convinced off of comps. Yeah, of course I'm not watching game. Let's be honest, I'm not doing that in my spare time. But yeah, he looks like he has a lot of good attributes. He looks like he's got like his frame is massive, bro. Like again, like Courtois.
Is he Belgian?
Yeah.
Yes, he's Belgian.
Do you know what? He's probably one that because his frame looks perfect for shot stopping. He looked like he had really good reflexes, which means he probably will be a very good goalkeeper, just not at this football club. So
Yeah. I'm just kind of annoyed that it's another international loan that we're using up. We have the Anselmino one, and we have this one as well that's being used up just to have him stay at the club for another season. It's just weird because, like, why can't we have an agreement like what we did with Salzburg where, like, okay, it's agreed, but he's going to stay for the rest of the season. Why do we have to loan him back to you? That's the part that kind of has me scratching my head like, why?
Repeat that again.
Remember how with Nkunku, we had the deal done and disclosed, but we let him stay at Red Bull for another season?
That's
Why can't
because
we do
got
that for
the deal-
Penders?
That's because we got the deal done for Nkunku outside the transfer.
yeah, it was in December.
And also,
Oh.
you need to realize as well that we possibly could be having a transfer ban next summer. So
we can't really buy him then, can we?
Yeah, you won't be able to register. Oh, so maybe that's our answer, you know?
Pretty simple.
Oh, me and Ahmed are
Also,
actually going to
Mike
crush
Penders-
it when this happens.
Also,
we're
Mike
gonna crush
Penders
out.
Mike Penders might be for Salzburg because you know that guy Wiley. Is that his name? Wiley?
Caleb Wiley, yes.
Yes.
Salzburg, not Salzburg.
Yes,
Yeah,
Caleb Wiley. Yeah, the only reason why we signed him is because Salzburg were supposed to, but they didn't have the money or something.
Are you saying
So we
Salzburg
had
or
to sign-
Strasbourg?
You keep on
I
saying
don't-
Salzburg.
I don't
I think it's Strasbourg.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
you
let's
think
see. But you see,
Salzburg.
the thing with Prime is not a proper Chelsea net. He doesn't follow the game like that. Man. We're talking about RB Leipzig Nation and that stuff, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man,
Brexit
support
FC.
the club
You know what I'm
properly,
saying?
man. Support
Brexit
the
means
club
Brexit.
properly. You know what I
Brexit
mean, man?
means
Support the
Brexit,
club. Support the club properly, mate. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Support the club properly, mate. You know what I mean? You're a disgrace to the fan base, mate.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
He only knows one name. He only knows one names in England, man. Forget Salzburg.
You know what I mean?
Salzburg,
Yeah.
same thing, you know?
All this guy knows about you is Abis Reece, man. You know what I mean? Oh, you know what I mean? That's
I'll wait until you're finished to respond. Are you done?
I'm done.
You done?
He's done.
Okay, cool.
I think he lost his train of thought. Thanks, Ahmed.
No, not even that. It's like
Just watching him laugh.
what do I even say? You rate Bradley Barcola. You rate Dallo. Like, what do I even
Listen, they come to this point, man.
He rates
Listen,
all off too.
listen. Barcola would do more than Sterling and Mudryk would do for my football club. That's
Marshall
guaranteed.
Newton?
I will put money on that.
I didn't interrupt. Newton.
You know what I
Marshall
mean?
Newton. I didn't
Hold
interrupt.
This is a free for all.
Newton. Ahmed, I
You
didn't
see
interrupt
what I
you.
mean? You see what I mean? You see what it is there? When I come in here, okay.
I didn't interrupt you.
And then
I
he
didn't
started.
interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you.
Go ahead, boss.
You're a Palace fan?
Yep.
I've never seen Somalia even in an AFCON group stage. You think you can talk to me?
Bro, the strays in this show today is wild. We went from
Listen,
Osimhen
firstly,
strays,
that's a
Lautaro
low blow, man.
strays.
This is
Go
a major
for
lie.
it.
You know what I mean? Somalia has participated in under
I'm
17.
not done.
So
I'm
you
not
have
done.
appeared in
You haven't.
AFCON.
I'll take slander from you. I'll It's fine. I'll take slander from you. Ahmed, you're not allowed to slander me. I'm sorry, you're not allowed to supposed to. You're a Palace fan. You're a Havertz fan.
What is this?
You're
What
Bradley
is this?
Barcola
You're a
fan.
Palace fan. When did I'm not supporting
We've seen the
Palace,
shirt.
bro.
We've seen the shirt,
What's-
man.
I
Proud
don't even
and-
know what
Wait,
shirt
did
is.
Ahmed, you have
Shit.
too many things. Ahmed, you have too many things that we could talk about with you that you can't. That you're not allowed to slander.
This is not true. That the
That's
Crystal
why
Palace
you
thing
have
has
your own
been-
show, Ahmed.
Listen, Crystal Palace, yeah.
Ahmed, at least for me, what are you gonna say for me? Obi You're a Palace fan. Don't talk to me.
No, and don't let him do that. He doesn't rate Cucurella. He shits on Cucurella.
Oh, God, yeah.
Don't let him do
Jesus
that.
Christ.
Don't
I
let him
forgot
do
about
that.
that. He rated a lot, but not
He's
Cucurella.
still
This is
hating
why
on
Ahmed can do
Cucurella
his
to
own
this day
3-hour
after the
stream
Euros
because
and all
of
that
the
jazz.
stuff.
Still
It's
hating.
crazy. All right. Well, since no one wants anything to say about Mike Penders except for Will, we'll move on to the next topic.
No,
If you
Marshall,
guys will have
we're
more
not-
to say.
We're not moving on. Don't let him live. Don't let him live. Don't let him live. Look, we're not
I
moving on.
think you
Don't
got
let him
What?
live.
No, we're moving on. We're moving on. All right, we got to get to the hot stuff here.
Oh,
The
good. We didn't get to the hot stuff yet. I'm good.
no, not yet. We start off slow here at Casually FC. All right, let's get to the next
We have to
topic.
go back in time and
Yeah, we have to go back in time.
Yeah,
We have to go
yeah,
back in
I know.
time. We got to go to the little
Casually FC
news.
only comes once or twice a week, right? It's like
Exactly, twice a week on a good week.
Me and you, Ahmed, we talk every day. We
Yeah,
talk about
exactly.
Exactly. Listen, this is
Yeah.
the podcast for the people, by the people, or for the casuals, by the casuals. All right, and this is where people come and just you get your news in 3-hour chunks. All right, maybe you want to listen to it while at work. You don't got time for that YouTube and be clicking on the video each time. That's what I'm here for. I'm that savior. I'm the Batman. Anyways, let's continue on. I'm waffling now. Palmer gets a contract extension, as you guys see here in the title. Let's talk about it because there's a few other things that I don't know about. I don't know if I'd want Ahmed as my sidekick. I'll be honest with you. Time will tell.
Thank you.
Ahmed might be my Joker, to be honest.
Hey, I'm
With that
Marshall the
smile,
one-up.
with that
I'm
smile, a
always
smile that
Marshall
kills,
the one-up.
bro.
I'm the Marshall that Marshall the one-up with any player. Yeah, me and Marshall have an argument about one player every single stream. So
Yeah, pretty much. I'm waiting for the one today. We'll see.
Yeah, it's gonna
Um,
be when Ahmed says that Elise is better than Palmer again. He's gonna make me
Oh,
crash out
Jesus. Anyways, exclusive from David Ornstein. Cole Palmer commits future to Chelsea by signing 2-year contract extension. 22-year-old England attacker already tied down until 2031. Terms now through to June 3rd, 2033. Rewards brilliant debut season after joining from Manchester City. Cole Palmer's new terms from reward after a hugely successful first season at Stamford Bridge, in which he registered 25 goals and 15 assists in 45 appearances across all competitions. Cole Palmer has been nominated for the PFA Young Player of the Year. It's chosen by the players. Cole Palmer is now thought to be at a similar level to midfielders Enzo Fernandez and Moise Caicedo on salaries worth more than 120k pounds a week. We continue on. That's from Outlaw. Chelsea believe Cole Palmer will be a key player for at least the next decade and will continue to reward him if he maintains his superb form. That's going from Outlaw again. Then Nicholas Jackson was actually mentioned, which I was actually kind of delighted to see this. Chelsea would also like to extend Nicholas Jackson's contract by another 2 years and reward him for his impressive first season at the club. Negotiations are likely to take place in due course. Chelsea wage bill has now been significantly cut to an average of around 60 million, right, 60,000 pounds a week, with a big incentive for individual and team achievements. It was more than 200k pounds a week under Roman Abramovich's ownership, which is astonishing, really, how much we were spending on wages for a lot of dead players in that team. Official, Chelsea is thrilled to announce Cole Palmer has signed a 2-year contract extension until 2033. This is the official announcement. But yeah, I mean, a little bit of news there. Nicholas Jackson also potentially getting a contract extension, which I think he does deserve. An impressive first season for only his second professional season in football, coming at the fee that he came in as well. And we now lowered our wages from an average of 200K to around 65-ish K, which is a significant amount of money that we are saving. I mean, a few things to pick at right there. Obviously, I think Cole Palmer does deserve his new contract and his wage bump. But anyone disagree with maybe Nicholas Jackson getting one, or so on and so forth?
Wait. Let's pause to that. No. We need to pause on that one. Why would anyone disagree with Nicholas Jackson getting a wage increase?
Because we're Chelsea fans.
No. Let's be realistic, guys.
We're rational Chelsea fans, but
no. Listen, we know your agenda already, with Jackson. Yeah,
I literally, rewind the video.
That question,
1.5 minutes. I literally just said I'm glad to see Nicholas Jackson getting an extension. I'm sorry you have selective hearing, Ahmed. Listen, you literally just said we're going to argue about a player, and not even a segment in, we already started arguing about a player. That's ridiculous, bro. You and your selective hearing. Agenda hearing. That's what it is, man. You have a hearing agenda.
Ahmed,
This is defamation.
Ahmed, expose.
It really is.
Ahmed,
it really
expose.
is. Expose what? I literally just said. I like that he's getting an extension.
You know why you extend it? Why you give Nicholas Jackson an increase? Because you're gonna go get another striker. You don't want him to be pissed.
Yes.
Fair enough. That is a very good point.
And he's actually, unironically, for the price he brought him for the wages he's on, and the season that he had with the number of goals scored.
Is this true?
He scored more than I thought he was going to.
Yes.
To be honest.
He makes more than him. People don't know this. He's on like 60k a week, if I'm not mistaken, 70k a week, Jackson.
That's crazy. We ain't making that bank, man.
Yeah.
But I am asking just for the sake if anyone disagrees.
Anyway, Marshall. Marshall, back to you. Why do you disagree?
I don't disagree.
Oh, you're the one that posed the question.
No,
because I want to know if any of you guys disagree. Can I not be curious?
Like a villain, man. You're trying to make
but Marshall is a villain because
don't forget, I have a mouse and I control the panel. I can easily put you guys backstage if you continue this ridiculous agenda.
Marshall is just
I'm just saying, like, I will be a dictator.
Ahmed, what are
I
you
will
doing,
be a dictator.
Ahmed, what are you doing, bro?
Ahmed's just trying to stir the pot.
I started
Ahmed's just becoming. Ahmed's turned into
He keeps on
content
rubbing his
creator.
imaginary beard. Stop rubbing your imaginary beard, son. You don't got no beard there, bro. Stop rubbing your imaginary beard, bro.
Listen, I wrote my chest. Let me
Fuck my life. I just fucking spit all over him on it.
You know what I mean? Let me
Oh,
see
shit,
I'm
bro.
right out hair on the chin, just like it's smashed.
Joey, you're new here. Joey, you're new here. Here on the channel, when we try to expose Marshall for what he is, he tries to send us backstage. You know.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, they got
Let's go
hours
backstage.
I
then,
agree
yeah?
with
We'll go
Marshall.
backstage.
I agree with Marshall.
Of course you do, Will. We know what you are too.
Mark Correa in the chat.
Yeah, I agree with Will too.
Listen, we know what Will is, man. Will was
Marco
a
Correa is in the chat. It's
Will was a
crazy.
Marshall cocktail. Hey, no surprises there. Leave me.
Oh my
That
god.
ass
Anyways,
That
any thoughts? Anyone impressed with the fact that we lowered the average wage so much?
No, it's not surprising, bro. Like, if we're being
I'm
realistic,
not saying
like,
you see selective hearing. What did I tell you guys? I say, is anyone impressed?
bro, no, like, as in, like, I'm not really impressed because this is something they've actually said already. Like, they've come out to say we're reducing the wage bill. The reason why they've been doing this model of bringing these up and coming young players because they can get them on lower wages. They can then increase them over time if they actually show that they're good enough. Remember, that's something that we've all talked about here. So This is just them following their model.
Mm-hmm.
We could lower it.
If they get once they get rid of Romelu Lukaku, then I'll be happy with that whole wage structure.
I bet the wage average goes down even more. And Kepa
And
too.
Sterling.
Let's not forget Kepa's in there. And
Sterling, man. Let's not forget Sterling, man. Yeah, let's not forget.
Yeah, but Sterling, I know that your agenda in Sterling, but we all know he's not going anywhere, guys.
Not yet.
At least
Yeah.
until
Not going
next
anywhere.
year. Like at least until next year where he has 2 years left, he's not going anywhere. Like
Agreed.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Well, congrats to Cole Palmer. You made yourself a deservedly so wage increase. And Jackson, I hope you're the next one that gets it. And obviously, hopefully. the club makes the right
now you
decision
hope
on
he's the
that.
next one.
Now
I literally said it 10 minutes ago. Clip it.
We're watching,
Clip it.
we're watching, man.
Yeah, well, you can clip it. All right. Let me move on to the next one here that I got for you guys, which is
the Demon Brothers over there.
just a few little remarks that I see here about Lavia, who I think overall we've all been pretty much impressed with what we've seen from Lavia in the preseason. We hope that he maintains it in the season, but I kind of wanted to touch on, I guess, his comments and what he's kind of gone through in this time where he's been injured for so long. So going into that, Simon Johnson here saying, according to sources close to Romeo Lavia, he took part in exhausting exercises to get sharp. He also had a club employee go away with him on holiday to maintain the fitness program. Then we maintain right here, the Simon Johnson, to ensure Romeo Lavia was prepared for the speed of the game. He had regularly worn a VR headset to help recreate moments he is expected to face on the pitch. He has used this device to get ready for scanning where teammates and opponents are on the field and know what his next move will be. Practicing his vision, I guess, yeah. Sources close to Lavia say he has tried to look at his misfortune positively. He told close friends how if he ends up being at Chelsea for 10 years and this is 1 year of on the treatment table, he still has 90% of his Chelsea career left to make a massive impact. Chelsea have earmarked Lavia as a possible leadership role in the future, whether that be as a captain or vice captain or just trusted with certain responsibilities as one of the squad's main characters. Romeo Lavia has immersed himself in Chelsea so much so that he attended under-21 games at King's Meadow to support the players coming through. Lavia's willingness to get involved has impressed Chelsea staff, and he has been asked to speak to academy players, a task taken on willingly to give insight on his experience coming through the ranks of Man City and Southampton. Romeo Lavia also had a comment to say to The Athletic, probably ask him what his dream at Chelsea is. And he said the dream, it is to not miss any games. That's it. The interest from about Liverpool as well. The interest from Liverpool was there, but in my head, I wanted to play for Chelsea. If you look at all the teams, Chelsea is one that is growing. When I saw a group of young, talented players that at their previous clubs had been the best players, I can only go, well, now I'm here. I realize it's true. Listen, a lot of positive things from Lavia. you can tell that he has been working at his fitness because from the get-go, from the very first game of the preseason, he actually looked really sharp. So I have been super impressed with Lavia. Gives a big headache in terms of selection in the midfield for Enzo Maresca. But anyone else? Any thoughts on this, Prime?
Okay. I think it was one of the first few tweets you put up. Something about like a member of staff went with him on holiday to ensure his fitness.
Yeah, I think it was the second one. I got you. Oh no, first one. Go for it.
If you bring this back to who I think you're going to bring this back to, I'm going to be pissed. Just saying.
What?
But in trouble.
What?
I'm going to be pissed.
What'd you say?
Because I know where you're. Why can't I read your mind, Prime? I can read your mind.
It's the he's talking about the full manager.
Listen. I'm Iron Robin. I've got one trick for all works.
Finish your sentence, bro. Finish your sentence.
No.
Go for it, Prime.
You're gonna say why didn't Reece bring his trainer? They're gonna say, man. See, I knew it, man.
I was actually gonna talk about Wesley Fofana. But if you want to talk about Reece,
we got another. All right, go for it. What are you gonna say?
No, but in all seriousness, I think this is a very smart move, what he did, Lavia, and I think more players should actually do stuff like this. Because you notice when people come back from injury, certain players, like, it takes a long time to actually kick into gear, whereas he's been brilliant all throughout preseason for us.
Yeah, he's been phenomenal. Like, I think he really took it personal, the fact that he couldn't play for more than 30 minutes last season. And I mean, I don't know if it's PR or he actually means it, but I do like that, you know, he did mention the whole Liverpool thing where I guess maybe some players do see it this way, that they see the Chelsea is trying to build a team for the future with some of the best talents, and that, you know, he sees a home in that. He sees like, okay, I am one of those best talents in the world. Why are you laughing, Brian?
Oh my god.
What?
I don't know.
Anyways, anyone else have any comments on Lavia?
I fully agree. You know, like with the VR and everything he's been using, you can definitely tell that in pre-season, like he's fully sharp in fitness and ready to go, and he's like knowing where players are going to be before, like, you know, where they go past it or whatever. Anyway, so yeah, like I think with Lavia, I think he definitely deserves as well to start in this season as well, because Caicedo doesn't look fully sharp yet, so I feel like Lavia should be taking that position until Caicedo's ready. With obviously Enzo, because Enzo's looked pretty good in preseason too. So I would like to see Lavia continue his form into the season as well, because I'm actually thinking he can be a big help to Chelsea against Man City and other games into that.
Yeah, he's always going to play a big part into the season. And I mean, there's Lavia in everyone's starting lineup, or does anyone have like a starting lineup that doesn't include Lavia in it?
I think in the medium. I think currently he is, but you would assume, obviously, if Caicedo's like ready and 100%, you know, maybe he goes out, then you bring in a guy like Enzo. Maybe that might happen. You never know. That might be something that happens.
It's a positive headache. It's a positive headache.
I think though, I think if you guys, I don't know if you guys saw, well, like have seen some of the recent footage on like where our midfield's really been playing, and it's been more of like a diamond instead of like a box midfield. And like,
seems
like
that way.
where with that diamond shaped midfield, like I feel like Caicedo could fill in any of those roles at any point. Like even the role that inverts back into into the fullback, like we've seen him do that with Martinelli before. Like he could play any of those roles. So it's like at any point, if we need to like interchange with this player, like he could play for Caicedo, he could play for Gusto while James is gone. He could play for Lavia for him to get some rest on the feet. But unless Lavia loses his spot, I don't want him to get dropped like at this current moment. I don't see why there should be any reason why this specific player should be getting like switched for anybody.
You know, the
Until
thing that's
otherwise.
And you know, the thing that's really impressed me of Lavia the most is that I've always figured he was like a destroyer, like a Conte-esque kind of player. But the vision that he has and his passing ability, that one really took me off guard. I did not realize this guy had that in his arsenal. And it's been really impressive. Like how old is Lavia? I just realized like he's
20,
really young, right?
21.
So we got him when he was 19. You know,
Yeah.
like I didn't see that at Southampton when he was 18, like doing those kind of like
Really?
random
I
passes.
always knew.
I
him for
did,
his
bro.
impressive
First game,
assistant.
Southampton played against us, and he hit that screamer. And ever since he hit that goal, I watched that season of him very closely, like at Southampton, very close. He played us. He played us like he outplayed every single one of our midfielders.
I didn't see that. Yeah, but our midfield was like Gallagher. It doesn't count. Anyway, I watched him that season at Southampton. I didn't see the hype, but like I'm so happy we have him now, and for the price we have him at, bro.
It
This
doesn't
guy could be
count,
another
bro.
£100 million midfielder. So happy
Joey's
with that.
correct.
Yeah,
by the way.
it
He
doesn't
actually
count.
dominated
I don't-
Arsenal as well that season.
You know
And
it is,
another
man.
big
You know,
games.
you know what it is, man.
Yeah, he had good games against some
Prime's
big.
ball knowledge, man. My God, man. If I speak in
My ball knowledge, because
Yeah.
I didn't rate as relegation midfielder. My ball knowledge.
yeah, man.
God
Ball
damn.
knowledge, man. Down the drain, man. Down the drain.
That's not how you. That's not how you. Right there is the reason why we question your ball knowledge, though, Prime. You shouldn't be rating players based off of the team going down or not.
No. I just didn't. No. I just thought people were overhyping him. I thought he was good. But I thought he was overhyped because he's young. I don't rate.
That's fair.
Like
No,
I want young players to get more.
I knew how good this kid was. Bro.
Yeah, but Joey, for me, is he had one season. I wanted him to have more seasons playing first before I really. But yeah, but Joey, do you know Ahmed? Do you know this? He wants to sell Reece James and replace him with Diego Dallo. Speak on that.
Hey, let's keep it to
I-
Lavia, man. Let's keep it to
Hey,
Lavia.
hey, Prime. I'm gonna need a clip, and me and Ahmed will. I promise you, me and Ahmed will have a conversation about that. I promise you. I'll make sure
I
you're
don't
there
need-
for it.
I don't need it.
I need a clip.
I can tell.
I need a clip for my stream, bro.
I heard it. I definitely heard it.
It's a whole stream.
Man, I'll defend that take. I'll defend that take.
What do you mean
I'll
defend that?
logic. I can defend
Okay,
that logic.
we'll see how you defend that take. We'll
Yes.
see. We'll put you to the test, and we'll see how you defend that.
We
Happened
will
on your
see.
channel. This happened on your channel. You find this, Marshall.
I will. Okay, let's move on to the next subject then. This is the big subject that a lot of people are waiting to hear what's going to happen. But before we go on to that, over 130 of you guys are watching, but I only have 51 likes. So let's try to get an uptick on likes, people. It's free to do, and it helps out the stream. If you're enjoying the content, if you're enjoying the panel that you see here, go ahead, smash up the like buttons. Let's try to get to at least 75 likes, and I would appreciate that very much, guys. Okay, so this next part is a big segment, so I'm just going to do it in chunks. We'll talk, and then we'll go into the next part of it. But let's start off with Felix and Gallagher deal update. Let's start off with the Samu Meridian part of this. So last we spoke on this was on the stream on Sunday. It broke out as we were live. So let's kind of round out what happened and what we actually found out in that time. So apparently, Samuel Meridian transfer. This is the breaking news that David Ornstein broke out. Samuel Meridian transfer from Atletico Madrid to Chelsea has collapsed. Deal agreed club to club and between 20-year-old Atletico striker and CFC. But major problem finalizing contract. Contract means deal off. Spain Youth International not moving to Stamford Bridge. There are serious issues for Samuel Meridian deal, as Marcos Benito has reported, according to Fabrizio. Chelsea have currently considered at risk, but all parties are still working on it. So we have Fabrizio pretty much confirming it as well. More on Samuel Meridian deal story. Understand Chelsea and Atletico are in contact to find solutions as a Meridian deal could collapse. But Atleti and Chelsea have clear plan. Gallagher and Julian Alvarez deal cannot collapse. So work in progress on solutions. We were under the impression that it had nothing to do with Gallagher, but now as we've gotten closer and closer to today, we've noticed that, yeah, it does have to do with the Gallagher deal now. But we'll get to that part later. Exclusive, Chelsea and Atletico Madrid are now discussing Joao Felix to CFC as part of the Gallagher deal. Samuel Meridian deal collapsing, and two clubs don't want Gallagher. And two clubs don't want Gallagher and Alvarez deals to collapse as well. Joao Felix being discussed with Jorge Mendes in London. So yeah, then Joao Felix pretty much out of the blue, out of left field, gets announced. Apparently, Chelsea are now discussing ways to get Joao Felix across the line. So Samuel Meridian's move to Chelsea is currently off following late complications. An announcement on Conor Gallagher deal was delayed to allow Almeridian's transfer to be finalized, but Gallagher deal remains on as it stands, and Julian Alvarez has traveled as planned. All parties now urgently working on a solution. One option is Joao Felix returning to Chelsea. As for Fabrizio Romano called, Atleti need an outgoing to finance Alvarez. Jorge Mendes is in London, having traveled for the Pedro Neto announcement. Chelsea changed the conditions of the Samu deal last minute. Samu is described as devastated. Chelsea now want Osimhen as main goal. And then we have here, Chelsea demanded changes and proposed to acquire 50% of Samu Almeridian's rights, meaning image rights. Atleti and player rejected this. Atletico, who depended on Samu's transfer in order to be able to sign Conor Gallagher, considers what has happened to be a lack of respect. And this is coming from Relevo. I'm pretty sure that's Chiringuito and that network of people. We continue on here. Chelsea now want to reach an agreement for Joao Felix since neither side wants the Conor Gallagher deal to fall through. So there's been I think what it actually was, and maybe you guys disagree, is the image rights. Or honestly, what I think is that Jorge Mendes was talking into the ear of the ownership, and they decided to find an excuse to pull out of the deal because now there's an opportunity for Joao Felix instead of Samuel Meridian. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think you were right, other than you just have to replace Joao Felix with Victor Osimhen. And they found the opportunity to get Victor, and it wasn't going to be cost efficient to get both of them, and they still needed to get. And with the way that he was already injured, and then when he got his injury, and then it's all tied together in the end. Like the Victor deal and this Samu deal getting dropped, and Felix being replaced, and Neto coming in, because Neto is also Jorge Mendes' client, and Jorge Mendes helped that deal get through. So I'm sure that he's trying to get Felix out of Atletico Madrid. That's probably one of his biggest priorities as an agent at this current moment. So I just see this in the end being where we get Felix across the line for somewhere around 45 million. And then that whole Victor situation can really start taking place. The ankle, though, to my opinion, was an excuse just to try to get out of it. It just seems like once Igbali kind of entered the room, he was like, why are we getting this guy? That's what it felt like. So
you think Igbali got involved?
Yeah, I 100% think Igbali got involved. Yeah, I think that he has been working. They said that they've been working on this Neto deal for about 2 months. So it's been obvious that and I truly believe that any deal over 50 million or around 50 million, Igbali is directly hands-on. Anything under, that's when the sporting directors is really where they will and have the power to be able to buy. So at this current moment, I think with Igbali is the key to this whole real situation. He's sitting here why are we getting a young kid when we could just go get the real? Why are we getting a young Victor when we could just go get the real thing? That's what it is.
Damn Igbali.
And then it also makes sense.
Igbali's gonna get you paid $5.
Go ahead, Will.
It also makes sense for Felix as well, because Atletico need to sell a player that we obviously like from before to get Gallagher
Well,
done.
not all of us
because Alvarez
apparently,
has been
but
signed.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but we have to. It's kind of to sweeten the Gallagher thing as well. I'm guessing.
Can you be honest though, Marshall? If I may, yeah. Do
Go
you
for
think
it.
Joao Felix is gonna bring to you more to the table than what Sterling and Mitchell gonna give you?
Well, we have Neto. That's the thing. I think
No,
that's the issue, right?
That's not what he asked you. Answer the question. He just asked you a question.
God
Answer
damn.
the question.
You get impressed.
Yes. Joao
Okay,
Felix
so-
would give me more.
Okay, good. So that's the first question. Okay, that's fair. We already know. Big up to my guy Neto. Big up to my guy in Cuckoo as well. So yeah, but they do have a tendency to sadly get injured at times. Correct? We all agree
Sure.
on that, right? So having someone like Felix as quality depth for those positions, for me, makes quite a logical sense in my personal opinion.
Cook,
And that's
Ahmed,
the way you
Cook.
think
I'll
about it.
back
And that's
you.
the way.
I'll back you.
And honestly, for me, that's the way I just look at it with Felix. Like, it's not. If I look at Felix, I'm looking at him as
Also,
like,
for the numbers too that they're talking, it's like kind of
Exactly.
like a steal for the level of player. Like if
Mhm.
you're telling me that you're getting Felix for around 35 plus 10, or let's just say 40 plus 10,
Sure.
like the level of player at 40 million that you're getting at this day and age is
100%.
nowhere near what Joao Felix is.
Yeah.
Nowhere
Yeah.
near.
I agree.
Go ahead, Prime.
I think it's a good signing. Like, yeah, I think it's a good signing. I think Felix is a better fit. So I don't mind it. First of all, that glazing on Ahmed is crazy. Second of all,
It's not glazing on Ahmed. I was like Joao
glazing,
Felix.
bro. Listen,
I'm
remember,
a Joao Felix
listen,
fan.
what do you listen? Yeah, you listen. The street is slow here.
I'm talking.
No. I have to interject here. It doesn't matter if you're talking.
I'm not-
talking.
I
to you
didn't
now,
finish.
Yeah.
I'm
So
talking.
listen, yeah, I have to interject here because let's be real.
Let's have it
The
right.
reason- Yeah, listen, you guys know, yeah. Joey's had my joke about Felix, yeah, about the type of player he is, yeah, before. So I've said it before. I don't even think he's that great, but I think as a depth option, he's good. That's what I've said.
Yes.
Can
And them can hit and all of that, but
Okay.
when they play, when they
I know Winter Surfer doesn't like him, but that's okay.
Yeah, I know.
okay.
Go ahead,
okay,
Prime.
I
I want to move on to other
okay,
tweets.
cool.
More tweets.
I didn't hear anything that Ahmed just said, but I'll continue talking like I was saying.
Okay.
First of all, Will, your glazing is crazy. Second of all, Ahmed,
Wait a second. The reason as well is because everyone cooks me about Felix, so it's nice to have some people that don't hate him, you know. So you
Cool.
know,
again, Will, your glazing is still crazy. Second of all, Ahmed,
you glaze
It's all great.
Osimhen. You literally glaze Osimhen. What's
Yeah, you're the one that goes, oh, Victor!
can I,
You know what I mean? That's what you say, big man. You know what I mean? So please, have shame. Have shame, man. Have shame.
First of all, I don't sound like a girl, but fair enough. Second of all, Ahmed, it's great that you rate Felix, but let's rewind back and talk about, Osimhen's not coming to Chelsea. It's Sammy Nation. Sammy's going to be the striker. Talk about that.
Yeah, he owes me $5.
Listen, all I'm saying, Osimhen Nation, hey, he hasn't signed the contract yet. The first team holding the shirt, he's not signed yet.
But
Is he
what
signed
happened
yet?
to Sammy?
Is he?
What happened to Sammy?
is he-
What happened to
Well,
Sammy
listen,
Nation?
Igbali, it's not my fault. Igbali decided to crash out.
Hey, it was Elise
It's my fault.
Nation, then it
It's an
was
Igbali
Salmon
world.
Nation.
We're just living in it.
You know what I mean?
It was Due Nation for a little bit. It was Calafiore Nation for a little bit.
Yeah, that's
know
true,
it,
actually.
It hurts my heart,
I
man.
don't.
I'm not-
I do streams with Ahmed every day. Like he's not gonna run. There's nowhere to
It
run.
was Barcola. It was Barcola Nation last year. Will, this is the guy you glazed, by the way. So
I don't glaze
What is?
him. I call out Ahmed a lot.
The Abed Nation's being built in front of our eyes, ladies and gents.
Hey, man, you know.
Let's continue on because there's a few more tweets, and I do have something to say in regards to Joao Felix. So let me continue on with some other tweets here. Atletico Madrid is very upset by the attitude of Chelsea, and the tension at this time between the parties is very high, which understandable. You kind of fucked over their FFP plans. But let's continue on. It's very tense between Chelsea and Atletico Madrid. It does suck to suck. They are working hard to find a solution to save the Conor Gallagher deal. Continuing on with Joao Felix. Why are all these reloading? Deal for Samuel Meridian currently off and looking unlikely, although not completely dead as of Monday morning. Terms not fully agreed despite a €40 million fee for the Atletico Madrid, with Atletico Madrid in place. Chelsea now considering signing Joao Felix with Athletic, looking for around €50 million. Breaking. It is anticipated that Chelsea could land Felix for an initial fee under £40 million, and the terms of the deal may prove to be favorable for them too favorable for them to turn down. Continuing on, Atletico Madrid could sell Joao Felix to Chelsea on a permanent transfer. They are discussing in London right now. Joao Felix has already said yes to Chelsea return. His agent, Jorge Mendes, was informed yesterday. Negotiations ongoing between Chelsea and Athletic as revealed last night. It's up to Chelsea now. This is also crucial for Conor Gallagher deal, this is essentially where we find out that the Conor Gallagher deal does have to do with this. So we continue on. Why? Okay. Anyways, negotiations ongoing between Chelsea and Atletico Madrid with Jorge Mendes for Joao Felix. The player gave the green light, so he's keen to move and was very happy last time he joined. Felix indicates willingness to take drop in wages to rejoin Chelsea after Samu move collapses. Sterling future in doubt after Juve inquiry, which we'll get to this part. We continue on here. Joao Felix story exclusive revealed yesterday night. Entering into key stages, Jorge Mendes still in London to negotiate a potential return to Chelsea. Talks remain ongoing. Management wanted to keep Joao 1 year ago. He wanted to stay, but Pochettino said no. Damn you, Pochettino. I mean, at the time too, he was on a much more expensive contract and a much more expensive wage.
Yeah. Wanted, you know that song, by the way, guys. He's a runner, he's a track star. You know what I mean? That's what that's what you want, bro. You know what I mean? That's what you want, bro.
Yo, he really that song was playing on the background of Pochettino on his way to Stamford Bridge.
Every game he was playing that song.
Every game he would play it in the locker room before the game.
Can I just say one thing about Joao? Yeah,
in the locker room.
That Fabrizio exclusive, top 5 dopamine rushes of all time winning transfers, man. I can't lie. I just knew the hate. I want the hate. I want the Felix hate because I'm gonna crash it.
Why?
I'm gonna crash it. I'm gonna crash it when he turns good. I'm gonna crash it.
You got
I feel like
Be careful,
the way that people hate on this time at Chelsea, I think is really unfair.
I don't hate him.
I don't hate him either.
I feel like, because when you read a lot of people online sports about him, he was so shit fast, etc., etc. He got a red card.
It wasn't actually.
And I think for me, I feel like there was like a lack of context with the number of players we had at the squad. You know what I mean? The type of players we had at the squad at the time, how everyone was doing around him at the same time as well. So like, I feel like it was quite, you know what I mean?
Lampard hardly started him, didn't he?
Yeah, and like Lampard, it was alleged, if I'm not mistaken, that Lampard said he had a bad attitude, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah. Ahmed, part of why we didn't sign him is because Lampard spoke with Poch about Felix.
Yeah.
But apparently we didn't back the
Hideous
manager.
twins,
right?
man.
We didn't back the manager. But it is what it is.
So, going back to what you guys were talking about.
If you go back, Lampard's decision making for this club, like as in managerial terms, have been just so goddamn shocking, bro.
You know what I've said? Joey? Yeah,
it is like appalling. Like some of the decisions,
bro. I've said before, Lampard the player, one of my goats, one of my favorite players to watch. Lampard, that's my legend. Lampard the manager, that's Lampard the manager.
People wanted him as director of football, by the way.
Bro, that's why I separate the names. I love
Lampard.
Lampard.
Bro. I used to get cooked for that. I remember Prime. I used to get cooked for that when I used to say.
No, Ahmed. I got cooked because I started this. I got cooked.
Fair enough. Well, maybe we did it at the same time.
But let me ask you guys this. I think I agree with what Joey said earlier, right? I think the price, £40 million for this kind of player who's actually willing to take a wage cut as well, I think that is a steal. Which to me, it feels like an opportunistic signing, and I genuinely actually don't think we need this player. Here's why. I don't think he suits the left wing. Maybe he does under Enzo Maresca's system. Maybe. But we've seen a left wing Joao Felix under Simeone multiple times, and it wasn't his best position. He always lit up at Atletico when he played centrally. What do we have in the central midfield right now at Chelsea? We have an Nkunku that's most likely ahead of him. A Palmer that can play in that position. We have KDH, who I think Joao Felix would play over KDH. That's not an issue for me at all. Carney, whose future is questionable. I just feel like there are people ahead of him, or there are people in the way that don't necessarily make him an out-and-out starter.
Yeah.
So can I hit back at that point then, Marshall? Yeah. So, all right. So you said Palmer could play temporary, but let's look at who is our current right wing option on the right hand side. Madueke, right? So who would you rather have playing on the right wing?
Well, our right wing option right now is Cole, to be honest.
Yeah. So exactly. Yeah. So then the next one, you said obviously central, like Nkunku, right? Nkunku, yes, we know he's gonna be number 1. He's number 2 already for Nkunku, right? He's guaranteed number 2 to be behind Nkunku again for my depth option. Now, you spoke about the left wing side, how he didn't really suit under Simeone. I think if you use him similar to how Foden is used, right, at Man City on the left wing, but he's not really necessarily a left winger, but you give him those 1v1 opportunities and allow him to every now and then come in centrally, much like how you allow Palmer to do that, right? We see how Palmer does it as well. So if you give him that same sort of thing to Felix for 30 minutes coming off the bench, or maybe if you need to start, I think that's more than perfect. And
But
again, you remember.
You say that as if our manager doesn't want wingers that stick to the touchline.
Oh, you've already
look
got
at
Palmer who
Neto.
doesn't stick to the touch line. Look at Palmer. You have Palmer as well who doesn't stick to the touchline. He doesn't.
Yeah, but we
necessarily need
have.
that.
You said it yourself. We have reports of people. Well, we don't want Mudryk, Chris. Come on now. You have reports saying that he's planning to have a more central role in the team, which who knows
since he's
what he
bought-
means
I don't
by
know
that.
about those
But-
reports.
but-
I
but,
believe
like,
it when I
again,
see it, to be honest.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, that's
we'll see,
exactly
we'll
it.
see.
I believe
Yeah.
that shit when I see it.
And I think also, Marshall, you need to realize, brother, that Madueke might be gone. You know what I mean? If this Felix do happen, which we more than likely feel about, listen, I'm Madueke Nation, but he's looking at it on his way out because that's something they've already reported that once
Maybe.
Felix
Marshall.
comes in, one of Sterling and Madueke is gone. So then
Marshall,
you
I
already
don't know why.
Mhm.
Sorry,
Go ahead,
finish, my bad.
No, it's alright, bro. No, it's alright. Honestly, it's fine, bro. Go ahead, please.
I don't know why, and it's not. I'm not even directing this at you, specifically, Marshall. I don't know why Chelsea fans are complaining about this. So you complain when our squad is bad and doesn't have depth, but when we bring in actual quality depth, you guys still want to complain. I'd rather have Felix off the bench in the last 20, 30 minutes than a Mudryk, for example. So I don't mind. But it's like you said, it's opportunistic, yes, but it's a good sign.
Yep. And also, yeah, as much as I like to joke around with Osimhen, that's exactly why I want Osimhen as well, because Jackson's depth is fantastic. That's superb. So
Oh,
we
now
shouldn't
you
really...
want Osimhen.
Marshall, have you
Don't
forgotten?
No. Wait a second.
Well, you're
I'm
not
just
right.
saying I'm
You're not
open
right.
to the move. I think there's players around
You're not
Osimhen
right.
now where he'll get service. So
Okay.
You know, Marshall, can I ask you a question? Do you
You're
remember our bench options and how we used to get angry at our bench options, by the way, under Poch?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Felix is a guy that's is barely injured. Doesn't get injured that much. Always going to be most of the time available for you. So listen, again, that strengthens your bench options at the end of the day. Again, big up to my guy Nkunku. We know Nkunku's injury prone, by the way, right? He might get injured every now and then. At least you have someone of similar quality to him that can still produce in that area in him. Same with Neto. Neto's only played 20 games last season. There's still
Also,
18.
You don't have to force to use Nkunku every game. You can start
Exactly.
Joao
And
Felix
think about it like this, bro. Like, respectfully, what Mudryk's going to give you, yes, Mudryk's going to need time maybe again. This is last season to really show himself. But again, you're giving Mudryk more competition to actually show
It's
out.
good depth.
Honestly, though, there's so many. There's like a group of 7 or 8 players that we have to like consider that we will never see them play on Thursdays. Okay.
Yes.
Like it's just like it's something that like we as fans we want to see our best players play every single game, right? But in the end, like the way that this team is structured, these Thursday games, we will not see Cole Palmer play on Thursdays. We will not see Neto play on Thursdays. Okay, like these guys, Felix is bringing quality into that tournament, really. Like it's bringing good quality into that tournament. So we do win it. You know what I'm saying? So we do progress further through, and then in the end, we can play some of the better players and win the tournament. Like that's.
I'm not even thinking about Conference League. I'm thinking about in games where, Everton,
I'm
Sean
thinking
Dyche,
of
low block.
Yep.
No, I know, but like I'm thinking about in the Prem, Everton, Sean Dyche, low block. 75th minute. They don't want to see Felix off the bench, man. Felix who can link up 1-2, all of a sudden someone's through on goal. Like these guys don't want to see
be the
that
man
sort of quality
and
off the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, I think his overall motive is to get out of Atletico Madrid. But let's entertain this hypothetical real quick. Do you guys think Joao Felix would be happy to be a bench option?
Yes.
At
I think
first,
he'd
yeah,
be happy
yeah.
to play.
At first, yes.
The amount of
but
game times we'd be giving him, I don't think it'd be a
I
problem.
believe he believes he can get into this team and start,
Okay. I think that's fair.
which is
I
not
think that's
crazy,
fair.
by the way.
I don't think
So
it is
the
either.
fact
because
And
it
the fact,
could
and the
hurt.
fact that he's basically agreed like some level of personal terms already with him, and he's going for wage, cut wage and everything like that, means to me he already understands what the scenario that he's coming into.
I mean, to an extent, but I think he's more so desperate to get out of Atletico Madrid. Like, I don't believe this idea that he really loved Chelsea, really wanted to come to Chelsea. I think he just more so needed to really get out of Atletico Madrid.
No, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing about that. It's not necessarily just Chelsea, like the logo itself. I think that like the players that he played with, he enjoyed. Like you saw that with himself. It's not like he's walking into a scenario where he's like he knows the team, like majority of the team that was there already. One of his boys from the international team just signed. Like he's just walking into a familiar scenario.
Oh, that is true. Neto, yeah, that is very true. That's a good point. Yeah, 100%.
Like it's him, Enzo, Neto, Caicedo. They all speak the same language. They like Neto brought up Enzo like he knew him.
Yeah. I actually haven't looked at the
interview
Neto
earlier today.
interviews. Yeah, I'll actually probably touch.
It was only like 3 minutes. I can send you it.
Yeah, I'll probably watch those interviews for the next show. But actually, let's get into like the latest, right? So we do have news that happened more so relating to what's happening now. Because the deal's not done, obviously. So Atletico are insisting on finalizing the deal for Conor Gallagher. The player knows that everything possible will be done to ensure that he ends up signing. The Joao Felix situation is complex, and he's open to returning to London, but there's no response from Chelsea yet. That's coming from Edu Virgos, and some of these sources are questionable, but let's just see, because everything's been questionable, really. We don't know anything except Dave Ornstein being reliable now, the most reliable. So Atletico are unhappy with Chelsea's initial offer for Joao Felix, so we did make an offer, apparently. The Spanish club's preference has been to sell Samuel Moriera to Chelsea as part of the Conor Gallagher deal, as it delivers higher FFP profit, according to Duncan Castle. We continue on here. Exclusive. Chelsea requests Conor Gallagher to return to London on Tuesday, set to book flight. Chelsea see all deals separate. Joao Felix too offered to CFC on Sunday. Door remains open for Conor Gallagher to join Atleti after medical done. Up to all parties involved. So shocking to hear that this is not now separate now. It could potentially collapse if we don't actually make any progress on this end with Conor Gallagher. But we continue on. Chelsea and Atletico have recommended Conor Gallagher returns home for his own well-being unless there is a significant progress in the coming hours, but clubs recognize that situation cannot drag on much longer, according to Matt Law. Diego Simeone, according to Matt Law as well, assured Conor Gallagher ahead of his flight back to London that he remains desperate to work with him at Atletico Madrid. Conor Gallagher wanted to stay at Atletico Madrid and not return to London. And I mean, why would you? The guy was ready to settle in. He already signed the contract, got introduced to players and so on and so forth. Like, it's probably really devastating for him that this fell through. But maybe he actually wanted to come back to Chelsea, but he's not going to come back to Chelsea because he's coming back to right here. Conor Gallagher will start training with Chelsea's U21s from tomorrow while his future is sorted out. Negotiations with Atleti will continue from England. Conor Gallagher is expected to train with separate group from the first team that includes Armando Broja and Trevor Chalobah unless he is told otherwise, and that's probably awkward as fuck. Conor Gallagher won't return to training immediately and must instead undergo medical testing, as all players do upon returning from holidays. Other players with uncertain futures, such as Lukaku and Chalobah, are currently training away from the first team squad, with Chelsea's position being they do not want to disrupt preparations for the new season by bloating the group. Bro, really? With players who are no longer in their plans. The club would instead prefer for them to focus on securing moves away, according to The Athletic. Chelsea are trying to negotiate the signing of Joao Felix, but his valuation is substantially higher than the 34.5 million agreed for Samuel Meridian. No shit, Sherlock. Sources in Spain believe Atletico want in excess of 50 million pounds for the forward. Joao Felix is Villa's priority target in the final weeks of the window, but a move has been put into doubt as Chelsea were offered him. Emery has already spoken with Felix and will be hoping his proposed return to Chelsea doesn't materialize, according to John Townley. Jorge Mendes is still in England as well, discussing the deal. Chelsea still believe Atletico will want to complete the Conor Gallagher deal and remain committed to it themselves, but the Spanish club needs to sell at least one player, which we know for FFP reason. The valuation of Joao Felix, the salary, the commission of the agent, there are many points to clarify on the story, and Atletico are aware Chelsea believe that Felix is no longer part of their plans, so they need to find a solution as soon as possible, according to Fabrizio in the London is Blue pod. Pending confirmation from right here we have from Ruben Nuria, Spanish source. Pending confirmation, Joao Felix's arrival at Chelsea is heating up. Jorge Mendes is very optimistic about finalizing the deal. The London club is giving in to Atletico Madrid's demands. A solution could be reached as soon as tomorrow. Take it with a pinch of salt, but there is, rumors going out, and this is one of them as well from Mercado ATM. Breaking: Chelsea and Atletico agree a fee of around 45 million euros for Joao Felix. Again, take it with a pinch of salt. We don't know if this is true or not, but this is a rumor that apparently it was agreed. But yeah, that's all I got. I mean, the Conor Gallagher situation is kind of stinky. I'm not gonna lie; it doesn't look good on for anyone. And to be fair, it's souring relationships with Atletico, which I'd rather not do because we've already soured a few relationships with multiple clubs already, including PSG and so on and so forth. We kind of are building this reputation that we're very unprofessional when it comes to transfers. I think even Benfica had some complaints about us and Brighton as well.
That was funny with the Benfica. That was quite funny. I remember that.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, listen, to me, and we go back to the beginning, right? To me, it feels like Chelsea were trying to pull the rug out from underneath Atletico Madrid. Maybe because progress was being made on Osimhen. Maybe it has nothing to do with Osimhen. But, it's shady. It was not done or executed well. And again, we're going to have to do business with these clubs in the future.
It should have never been done in the first place, though. That's the problem. This deal should have never been done in the first place.
Oh, the Samu deal?
Never been an option in the first place. He should have never been an option.
I don't know. Mm-hmm.
No, I'm telling you, he should. A guy with 9 goals when we need goals should never been an option.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. It's not really that difficult to understand. These sporting directors think that they're freaking little scouting geniuses, bro. They're not. They're just. Not every player that you're gonna buy is gonna hit at 30 million, bro. And you can't
100%.
keep on buying 20 million pound players and 20 million, 30 million pound players and build a team that's gonna actually be fighting for trophies and getting to where you want to get to. Like this source, who knows if this source is legit, to be honest. I've seen Mercado ATM be pretty good overall though, as a reliable source for Atletico Madrid. But I don't believe that Jorge Mendes is gonna walk away, is gonna allow us to get walk away from this deal without having Joao Felix across the line. I think he'll find a way to get this across the line. You're muted.
I mean, my apologies, but yeah, as I was saying, I feel like with this one, we're basically this is like us paying back the favor to Jorge Mendes and Neto. Because remember, 2 months, we didn't hear anything about Pedro Neto, how we negotiated divorce. Nothing came out, not even a pipsqueak about us being linked with him. So this is our way of saying, you did us a favor. Now it's time for us to, repay you a favor, essentially.
I think it's gonna happen.
And we
guys.
beat out a bunch of teams for Pedro Neto, so I can imagine it's beating.
You know what, bro? I'll be so real. Because this deal has been so quiet today, it wouldn't be surprising me if this was like a lot of like quiet, heavy negotiation going on for this deal. So
Yep. And tomorrow we get bigger news.
Yeah. I honestly, that's what I believe is gonna happen with this one. And listen, man, Marshall's gonna have to hold it with Felix. Everyone in the chat's gonna have to hold it for Felix. Listen, when he comes to the bridge,
Ahmed's gonna have to hold it about Samuel.
You know what it is, man. Listen, I just said someone's gonna come.
Your nations are crumbling, bro.
Not really. I was never. First things first.
Are falling apart, man.
I was never Samuel Nation. I just used to tell people the way that we've been reporting about it.
Has anyone got the clip?
No. I've never said Samuel Nation. I've always been. I've always told everyone. No, I was always telling people that Samuel was going to come because of the way that he was getting reported. He was being reported.
Optimus in the chat.
Optimus can agree. Optimus, the reason why he's annoyed at me because I used to tell him, bro, he's coming because he's the one that used to be saying it. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, if we can get 7 more likes, we're close to 200. We're almost 200 viewers here. If we can get close to, if we can get 6 more likes, so we get 100, I'd be more than happy. So go ahead, smash those likes.
Is the decline of fall of the Roman Empire? Oh my God, chill out.
All right,
but this is a tweet I just found. I don't know how recent it is. I don't know if this was just spoken by Fabrizio. But apparently for Joao Felix, there's still a gap. Ago. Yeah, this was said 4 minutes ago. I don't know if Fabrizio said it 4 minutes ago or Vince is just tweeting it from a while ago. But
Fabrizio is active right now.
Oh, okay. So this is recent. So yeah. For Joao Felix, there's still a gap. There's still a difference between Chelsea and Atletico Madrid, and so the two clubs are talking. Let's see if they can find a way. But for sure, Gallagher is still waiting. The discussion continues. Jorge Mendes, the agent of Joao Felix, is still in England for this story, and so the conversation for Joao Felix and Gallagher remains active, absolutely active. So that's good. I mean,
this report, by the way, this stuff came out a little bit earlier because he was talking about Aston Villa as well. It happened early in the day. You just obviously decided to post it now.
Yeah, that is from earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, anyone, I guess Joey did touch on it, right? He said this deal should have never happened. But do you guys feel, I guess, bad for Conor Gallagher in this situation?
No. He had a 5-day vacation in Madrid. Why should I feel bad?
Oh, wow, that's great. I feel sorry for him in the sense that I feel like, you know what? Huh? I feel sorry for him in the sense, of course, like, he's been in Spain. Yes, people can say he's been living nice accommodation and stuff. But like, at the end of the day, bro, we sitting him there with him thinking that he's about to be signed straight away, basically.
But Ahmed, they still could sign the deal.
I know, but like he's now been sent back to Chelsea.
FFP this, FFP that. They're worried that we're not going to buy someone from them, and they're not going to be able to sell someone. That's what they worried about.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they worried about. That's what they worried about. That's it. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that's holding them back. They don't have another player that they can sell because no one's going to go buy Samuel. No one's going to buy him. No one wanted him before this.
Not now, maybe, yeah. Well, apparently, what club was it? Bayern were in for him. Apparently,
Leverkusen.
Sorry.
Do you know why I don't feel bad for Gallagher? Listen,
I think I know, but go ahead. I'll let you say it.
You rejected Villa. You rejected Everton.
That is true.
Multiple times over multiple windows.
That is true.
You know we wanted you gone, and now you're gonna try and cry. And act as if we're treating you poorly. Do you know who's being treated poorly? Armando Broja. He's in a Cobham Academy product that just got his squad number ripped from him. He's being treated poorly. You know who's being treated poorly?
That's true. I just realized that. I just realized that. Oh my God.
Romelu Lukaku is also being. Yes, you interrupted me while I was cooking.
Oh,
Romelu
sorry.
Lukaku is also being treated poorly. It's not just you, Gallagher. Get over it. Leave the club. You're not wanted. If you're a real Chelsea fan,
you really dragged Lukaku into this.
if you're no, I'm
Why
just
are we
saying,
talking about Lukaku being treated poorly? He's getting what he deserves, mate. You know what I mean?
Ahmed, shut
think
up.
before
Let
you
me
speak.
finish.
Think
Shut up.
before
Let
you
me
speak,
finish.
mate. Think before you speak, man.
All the things you say, shut up. Anyway,
Not him, not you, bro, him.
I don't
Lukaku,
care.
think before you speak.
no.
Okay.
But my point is, there are so many other
Yeah.
players I can say are being treated poorly, but no one cares when it's Broha. No one cares when it's Lukaku or when it's Gallagher. I have to care. No, I don't care about any of them. They can all go.
Yeah, I get that. No, I get it. But I mean, obviously,
Because
if anything,
if this was Sterling, no Chelsea fan would care.
I feel like some would.
Who would care?
Some would.
Nah.
I think there's some.
Nah,
there's
he's
still
right.
some
He's
Sterling
right, bro.
fans out
Maybe
He's
there.
right, bro. No
Maybe
one
you-
would give a shit.
You don't think
Because
there's some Sterling
always-
fans out there? Some people still believe in Sterling.
Nobody would give a shit, bro.
Marshall, if we did this to Mudryk, tomorrow, if we ripped the 10 from Mudryk and we sent him away, you're not allowed to train with the squad we're selling you, who would care?
Yeah.
No one.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
Chloe would care. Because
Maybe Marshall, because you know what Marshall's like. Marshall
Calling out names.
loves everyone. Marshall loves everyone. So
but no
Bro,
one would
why
care.
you gotta
So
keep
that's what-
naming me for everything, bro?
I just
This
got to
guy.
explain to you, man. I got to explain to you, man. You know what I
Bro,
mean?
find something to expose first.
Ahmed, if it was Jackson
And then
happened to
blackmail.
Marshall would he?
Marshall, like, yeah, touchy. Yeah, touchy got, what's
Yeah.
it called? Yeah, put it back in. We know, Marshall. That's what I'm going to say. Hey, Marshall thinks he can get away with me, you know.
Hey, listen, I'll admit, I
Whoa,
called.
breaking news. Wow,
You see what I tell you guys?
Jorginho Rotti, you know. Bro, what?
What do you mean breaking news? Breaking news on
Right,
what? It has anything to do with?
Well, not necessarily, but it's kind of big. Like they got Jorginho
Wow.
from Brighton. And
They're gonna be all right, you know.
yeah, Brighton are doing my signings. You know, they
Oh,
decided
good
to
for
spend-
Brighton.
They did. Now it's Rudder, Wifer, Gruda, and what was the last guy? I had them all written down earlier.
Oh,
It's been
Jorginho. Okay, I see now. I understand. Okay.
They
Who are you talking about?
Oh, Minty from Newcastle. Like that's their scouting. Well done this year. When last year they scouted like bums. This year they got back on track with their scouting.
Okay. Yeah, no, for sure. And it's going to be interesting to see Brighton with this new manager who is, 31 years old? He's like the youngest manager in Premier League history or something like that, I heard.
Yeah.
Which is very interesting and fascinating. But obviously, if anything breaks
They
out...
say he's American, but he can barely speak English.
I need to hear it. I need to hear that. I'll look into the interviews after the show. So obviously there's another big story that we're going to touch on. But before we actually touch on that, I do have another subject here that I want to bring up, kind of relating to this, because if Joao Felix were to come...
I've got to leave.
Do your
Marshall.
thing. Do your thing, man.
But big up to everyone. Love and big up. Make sure to subscribe to Marshall and make sure to like as well. Okay.
Big up, 3K subscribers. We're very close, man.
Make sure you subscribe
Thank
to.
you. Oh, Jesus. Let me change this. Anyway, Simon Meridian Nation. But anyways, the other story that I wanted to touch on is players that we could potentially see going out the door if we were to get a Joao Felix in. And then we'll touch on the Osimhen stuff. So real quickly, just to touch on this, let me hit this on the screen. Here we go. So I think, according to Fabrizio Romano, I think Madueke can leave if they receive a good proposal. Sterling would be expected to leave if Felix signs. That came from Fabrizio early doors when this all happened. It's a shame that Ahmed left when he did, because the reporting from The Athletic is that there's currently no substance to the reports linking Raheem Sterling with a move to Italy's Juventus, and the 29-year-old is fully focused on the new Premier League season under Maresca. So, Ahmed Nation, you can hold that. Sterling is here to stay. But also, Carney is another one that's being discussed. Everyone remembers he has a £40 million or euro release clause. Clarify that for me because I cannot remember in the chat. But Crystal Palace will look to make a play to sign Carney Chukwuemeka should the Blues make him available, which I find to be odd considering he is available. He has a release clause in his contract. You can just activate at any time. And then Crystal Palace are willing to spend big on Carney Chukwuemeka. They would shell out over £20 million for him, according to Reluctant Nico, who I don't know who the hell that is. I don't know if it's reliable, but it is a rumor going about, and some of these rumors might have legs. Any of these players, like, okay, so I guess Carney's the big one, right? Like Sterling, people would like to see go for the most part. Madueke is 50-50. I feel like Carney is one that's kind of debatable. But I think you can make the argument that if Felix were to come, I think you can part ways with Carney. The issue with Carney is he's injury prone. As far as we're aware, he's injury prone. I think there's a brilliant player there, obviously, and I think he should have gotten more of playing time in Maresca's squad during preseason, which he hasn't. For maybe he doesn't fit Maresca's system. However, there is a good player there. But is he better than Joao Felix? I don't think so. Is he better than Nkunku? No. Is he better than KDH? That I don't think so either. And KDH has more experience as well. So, is he better than Enzo, who might be playing the attacking 8? No. So there's a lot of questions in Carney's on Carney's future. So I wouldn't mind parting ways with him. I think it would be a little bit of a shame, but it is what it is. Like he might be one of those players that we did bring for the sole purpose of flipping in the future. He was a top prospect, and I think he's now showing why he is going to be a good player, why he was a top prospect for Villa. But I mean, Sterling, Madueke, Carney, if Joao Felix comes in, which of those players you guys think are likely to leave, if any at all, really? And who would you? Go ahead, Joey.
I think it's going to end up being Carney, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's also Madueke. The whole Madueke situation is it's a domino effect. Okay. If Luis Diaz leaves Liverpool, which now could happen because Oscar Bob just broke his leg, and
he fractured his leg. Yeah.
Yep. So, if that all happens in that sense of like Luis Diaz leaves and then Anthony Gordon gets bought by Liverpool, then Newcastle's gonna get Madueke 110%. I don't see it any way, shape, or form about it outside of that, because they still have Harvey Barnes to play the left-hand side, and then they'll just stir up the right-hand side with Madueke. It's like Madueke. Yeah, but I know that the Almiron deal right now Madueke's deal's off because of the Almiron deal being off from Charlotte. But if like I said, if it's Gordon that ends up leaving Newcastle, they're 110% getting Madueke. 100%.
Do we know why the deal with Charlotte didn't go through for Almiron?
Not too sure, but I know that Charlotte isn't really like a very wealthy club. I think they try to do more of like a loan to buy type of option situation, but like I'm not too sure the exact details of it. I wasn't really following it. I just know that he had a move linked to a couple MLS teams, and Charlotte was one of them that like actually went in for him. I thought Atlanta was going to go in for him, though, to be honest.
Yeah. Apparently Keyshawn said Newcastle wanted more money. Yeah, who knows? But would you be upset if any of those players left, Joey? Carney or Madueke?
I wouldn't be upset.
I'm
not. I'm at this point, like, I'm not. I think Madueke could be. I've always said that Madueke could be an effective winger in this league. Like, I didn't think. I don't really see it as just such a big option, like a big problem. Really, is I always thought he'd be effective, but I I think we probably like for the money that we could probably get for him at this current moment, I wouldn't be opposed to moving on from him, especially for how inconsistent he is.
Fair enough. Prime, do you agree with Nani or Carney maybe leaving, and would that affect you or, you know, upset you in any way?
Oh yeah, devastated.
Okay, sarcasm. Got it.
No, I do think Carney just needs to go out on loan and get games under his belt. So a Palace loan could actually suit him. In terms of Madueke, I'm cool with him leaving so long as Angelo stays. I really like Angelo. I think he's much better than, at least in this moment in time.
Yeah. I mean, we have news on Angelo later in the show, if you're still here, but don't think he's gonna stay. So
I know.
But
yeah,
I mean,
he got linked somewhere today.
Yeah, and I'd also like to have a left footer on the right wing. I want to have more than just one left footer in the squad. But
isn't Neto left-footed?
I believe Neto's left-footed. Yeah,
he's playing off the left.
Oh, you mean a left-footer that can play on the right? Is what you're saying?
No. Like because if Neto's going to be starting on the left, I want to I just assumed Madueke or Angelo would be staying to back up on my point.
I don't think either of them are now.
Yeah, but hey, it is what it is.
Especially with Estavo coming in next year too.
This is true.
I know. It is what it is. We have too many attackers anyway, so we needed to bloat down the squad. So it's fine.
Yeah,
bro. You know how crazy it is? We went from having freaking not one winger, maybe one winger that was healthy 2 years ago, to now we can't choose who we want to play winger. Like,
yeah. Yo, I can't even remember who our out and out right winger was under Tuchel.
Mount.
Yeah, exactly. But Mount's not a winger. Like, you know what I'm saying? Or Havertz was horrible in that position too. Like, we actually didn't have like an out and out, like legitimate right winger.
Ziyech and we had Pulisic.
Yeah, no one rated Ziyech, and then Pulisic. Yeah, Pulisic was mostly forced to play on the right.
Callum Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, it's not good. And now we're at a part where I'm like, okay, we've made progress. We've gotten wingers now. We just got to get better ones than what we currently have. And I'm talking more so in terms of like the left wing. But I think Neto is an upgrade for sure. Sterling could still do something this season. I'm not, putting that off. Mudryk, I think, is a lost cause. And if we get Joao Felix, I think he's a good player too.
Also, what I like about Mudryk and Sterling that no one speaks about is how many fouls these guys win, how many penalties these guys win.
This is true.
Yeah, this is very true.
Majority of the penalties we won last season was because of Sterling.
Or from that left-hand side, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Or it was Nani. Nani won a lot of penalties too.
Oh, not
Mudryk. True.
Sterling and Madueke I'm talking about, not Mudryk.
Yeah.
So just having a winger set that can go beat a man and attract like danger and win fouls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is what it is. I'm not complaining either way.
Gotcha. Well, let's move on to a player that I know you're interested in, Prime. And before we move on, guys, we did over 100 likes on Content. By the way, I mean,
just Prime.
I don't know, Joey. Maybe you are as interested as Prime, but I feel like Prime is the prime counselor representative of this player. But before we move on, big up to the chat for getting us to 100 likes. That's phenomenal. The tinfoil hat is coming on. Let's see what happens in terms of the next deal. But if you can get us to more than 107 likes, I'd be really happy. Chat. So big up to you guys. Okay. Big story coming up. Let's look into it, ladies and gents. Let's see if I get to... you know what? I'll get to a certain point. We'll talk and I'll continue on because there's a lot of tweets on this too. So, first tweet I have here...
You don't know about the 10
I know
hat,
this
huh?
is fucking new, dude.
know
you're
about
like you're like tinfoil hat George instead of Curious George's long lost brother, bro.
Right? So basically, bro, 3 months ago I started my channel.
Yeah.
And I started
Oh,
my
Joey,
channel
you had a channel?
Yeah, I started my channel on predicting that Victor Osimhen was coming to Chelsea 3 months ago. That was what I started my channel on. I called it the tin hat theory.
Oh,
And
wow.
everybody has kind of started, like a lot of people have started running with it. When I talk about it now, everybody knows that that's what it's called, the tin hat theory. I have a new one, by the way, but we'll talk about that on my channel later.
Hey, you got to debut the new one when Osimhen comes across the line, because it's looking like this actually might happen. We had a big development on this today. Let's start off with this.
Marshall, have I not been saying this since last season that we'll get this guy?
You have been
Prime, who's the second best? Who's the second biggest Osimhen fan that you know?
You, by far.
Thank you.
Okay, cool. This is perfect for both of you then. So let's look into some of the news. So after the Joao Felix thing came up, a move for Joao Felix would not impact Chelsea's desire to sign an outright striker before the window shuts. Victor Osimhen's agent Roberto Calenda at Stamford Bridge to watch Chelsea versus Inter. So Osimhen's agent was at Stamford Bridge. So there definitely is some negotiation happening. Due to the Moriera deal falling through, Chelsea now has a priority objective, Victor Osimhen. Then Napoli are going to try to reach an agreement next week for Romelu Lukaku, according to Fabrizio Romano, said this 3 days ago. Yeah, that was on Sunday. So there's still time. We could potentially see a deal happen this week, and it is looking like it's progressing quite generously. So Chelsea are still interested in Osimhen, but they have been very clear. It needs to be a loan, and current salary would be an issue, so they would need to find common ground. And we've known this for a while now, as we've stated multiple times now. Napoli have made a new verbal offer for Romelu Lukaku, £21.3 million and $4.2 million in bonuses. They await Chelsea's response.
By the way, that comes out to 25 million euros, 25 and 5 million bonuses.
Yeah, I believe
30 million euros total.
I believe Chelsea's number that they wanted was 35 million pounds.
38.
Oh, it was 40 for Lukaku.
Yeah. Yes, 38.
Okay, so
38 million euros, 38 million pounds, 40 million euros. So 41, 42 million euros.
Yeah. This is from DiMarzio, who has been very hit or miss this transfer window. I think what was the one transfer that really stained his reputation, or the one tweet that really said people like, okay, DiMarzio, you're full of it. I can't remember. It'll come to me at some point. So we continue on. Chelsea value Romelu Lukaku at £36 million and are unlikely to accept such an offer, according to DiMarzio in response to his own tweet there. Yeah. No concrete update on the future of Victor Osimhen, but Napoli are pushing Chelsea for Romelu Lukaku. Conte and Lukaku are already exchanging text messages, so love to see it there. the boys are chatting in the background.
He's your dad. He's your dad.
It's Lukaku's daddy, yeah. It is believed Chelsea are watching up to 4 different situations, including that of Victor Osimhen, to see if the right opportunity to sign at least one striker presents itself. And this is where potential curveball can come in. And I added this just for discussion purposes. We haven't heard anything about this striker all window, and all of a sudden something has popped up. Maybe it's one of these options. Brentford are still holding out for at least £60 million for Ivan Toney. Interested clubs such as Chelsea may yet test the stance with offers of loans with obligations to buy late in the window. I guess, Joey, I'll start with you. How do you feel about this as... I mean, I think you'd rather have Osimhen. But as a plan B, would you be content with an Ivan Toney in the team? Also, give me 2 seconds.
Content is. I'd probably say content is the happy, I guess the most I could say it is. Like, I wouldn't say I'm like happy. I'm like, oh, like good with it. Like, I'm okay. I'm not happy that they didn't get this Victor deal done. I'm more upset with the fact that we probably, that means we probably didn't get Lukaku off the books. Like that's what would really upset me. Like if we went all window and we didn't find a way to get Lukaku off the books, these sporting directors should have been fired. Plain and simple. There's no reason why they should have their jobs. That's just the honest truth. Like, and honestly, Tony might just take the Saudi money. He seems like the type of guy that would take the Saudi money. Prime, what do you think about that? Do you think Tony's the type of guy that would take the Saudi money? You there with me, Prime? Prime. I'm asking you a question, bro.
Oh,
No,
your audio is low.
Oh,
A little
sorry.
low.
Can you hear me?
There we go. I can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you better.
How old is Tony?
28, about to be 29.
28. Cool. I
Joe's
like,
on it.
I
Goddamn.
don't rate him the way everyone else does. I think he is a very overrated striker.
Wow.
I don't want him at my club. All the negatives
Fair
that he brings. Like people are talking, I was on the stream earlier today, and people trying to talk about Chelsea having egos in our squad. No, this is a guy that will bring an ego, and this is a guy that could possibly disrupt squad harmony. I don't want this in my squad. If we don't sign Victor, I'll be disappointed because the deal is so easy to make. It's so easy to get Victor, give Napoli Lukaku. It's so easy to get the deal done that I'll be so angry if we don't get it done. And I'll look at these owners, sporting directors, who's in charge. I'll look at them very funny for not getting this done. But yeah,
That is very true because we have not, Lukaku, and they want Lukaku.
You don't get Victor.
Or they also want Castaday. They also want Kepa. They also want Chalaba. They also the amount of pieces that we could potentially give them to get this done is disgusting. And the funny thing, I'm sorry, Prime. There's one thing that I want to say. Antonio Conte came out. There was a report that came out that Antonio Conte said that he wanted a midfielder, a striker, and a center back, and we can give them all three of those things in one deal.
Wow, I just realized. Yeah, that's very true. That's very,
We can
very
give
true.
them
Holy
all
crap.
three of those things in one deal. Like I don't understand how this doesn't get done.
Yeah,
Sorry,
the wages
Prime.
might be the biggest issue, but go ahead, Prime.
I don't know if he would want. Would he want Chalaba? I don't know which players it was. Well,
it was reported. It was
but
reported.
anyway, it's too, like I've been saying for so long. It makes too much sense. That's why I've been so confident since last year. The guy at AFCON was hanging out with Didier Drogba, begging to join the club. The guy's been speaking with John Obi Mikel that he wants to join the club. The guy rejected Arsenal because he wants to play for Chelsea. The guy's a Chelsea fan. He's proper Chelsea. He rejected PSG because he wants to play for Chelsea. He rejected the Saudi bank because he wants to play for Chelsea. There's no better striker available on the planet that we can sign. This guy just scores goals for fun. He fits the system perfectly. He fits the mold of a successful Chelsea striker. When you think of a Chelsea striker, you think of Drogba. I'm not saying he will ever get to Drogba's level. Drogba's a legend, but Victor has molded his game as much of it as possible to be a Drogba. Yeah. Drogba is his idol. He wants to play for this club. He has, forget the money incentive, he has a personal reason to play and succeed at Chelsea. There's no reason why we cannot get this deal done. There's no reason.
I'm glad.
I've been saying it since Conte came in, man. Not as long as you, but since Conte came in, I said, there's no way that Antonio Conte goes into that club not asking for Romelu Lukaku.
Bro,
I
Yeah,
said
I
there
could
is
see that.
no way that he does not walk into Napoli saying that I want Romelu Lukaku as my striker. He's going to
People don't
walk in
realize
saying,
how good this guy is. Because
Yeah.
I was worried. Like, I was kind of worried, like a 2% chance that Arsenal might actually get serious this summer and they'd spend the money and buy Victor Osimhen and
No
they'd win the title.
way. No way.
Because but that's what Victor can do. He would get them that title. I was slightly worried. Obviously now
I'm not
they want to
disagreeing
stick
with that.
Havertz.
I'm just saying I don't think I
That's-
just Well, I'll save my question for after.
Here's
but
even a
Marshall-
better
Joey.
example
Hold on,
of what Chelsea
Hold on.
strikers work. Go for it.
No, but hold on, Joey. That's my point, though, Marshall. I believe he is that good. He can be that difference. He
Yeah.
can be that
I mean,
difference.
no, I agree with that. I agree with that. But I'll save my question for afterwards because you brought up the PSG thing, and I want to get to that part of the story too because I had that
Bro,
tweet.
nothing worried me. When it was PSG links, Arsenal links, when Chelsea were
real
not
quick.
going
He's,
for
he,
Victor
I mean, he's
money,
not lying, bro. I
we were
went to
linked
him.
with
I talked to him
when-
throughout this entire time.
Joey, when it looked like we were signing Samu, what is it that I kept saying? Samu's good.
Yep.
I don't mind signing him, but I don't care about Samu because I know we're getting Victor. I've been so confident that since January that we're getting this guy. The deal will get done. Even if it's deadline day, last hour, I know this deal will get done.
So let's go ahead and get up to date to where we are with the deal right now, and then continue this discussion. So Victor Osimhen will not reduce his salary, not even a euro. I'm 100% sure he's 11 million euros net per season. Conte wants Lukaku. Negotiations is ongoing. Napoli director is now in London to negotiate with Chelsea face to face to find an agreement. Chelsea have rekindled their interest in Victor Osimhen with the possible swap with Romelu Lukaku and cash payment in favor of Napoli. This could be permanent or a loan with obligation, so both permanent transfers according to the Marzio. We continue on. Giovanni Mana, the Napoli sporting director, has had talks in London so far offering about 25.6 million euros, which is about 10 million euros less than the proposed valuation of Romelu Lukaku from Chelsea. For Romelu Lukaku, Lukaku is still on 325K a week at Chelsea.
So that answers your wage question about Victor.
Yeah, 100%.
By the way, that answers your wage question because he's currently on 100K less than that.
I understand.
Okay.
That was another big question too. Obviously, Gary Jacob, I don't know how much of a reliable source he is, but if it's true, then that debunks the question.
Capology. That's reported on Capology. That number, that 325 number. I've been on this. I've done like as much as Prime has like been like a spearhead on how positive he's been on this whole thing. Mm-hmm. I've done more reading on this whole entire deal than I can guarantee you anybody. I've read more articles and more things about this guy than nearly anybody. Okay, so
that's
it's
why
like
you got the tinfoil hat, bro.
Yep, and that's why I have a fucking tinfoil hat. Use my language.
I'm fine, dude.
But yeah, like this whole thing is Victor was promised to leave back in January, by the way, or back in last summer. He was promised to leave before he signed this contract with this. So the whole idea of him, Conte can use him. You could throw that right out the window too. Like he's not staying at Napoli. Like that shit was never on the table. He was promised to leave, and the type of guy he is, the headstrong type that he is, it's.
Yeah.
By the way, okay, strikers, if you can go through the strikers in our history at Chelsea who have worked, they've all been box strikers. Every single striker who has been good at Chelsea, they've been box strikers. They've been punishers in the box. This guy is a punisher in the box.
Yeah, 100%.
If you leave him a chance, leave him a space, he's gonna punish you. Aerially, on the ground, it does not matter. This guy will punish you, and that's what we've been. And this brings a dimension of Chelsea brings a dimension of Chelsea that we've been missing since DDA. The aerial aspect of our game has been totally missing since DDA. I mean, Giroud brought it back for a bit, but since DDA, we haven't had that focal point. And this provides a focal point. And I've been missing. That's what I've been missing.
I do have a comment on that, but let me just finish up these tweets real quick, Prime. Just hold on to that thought real quick. I'll come right to you right after. No, you're fine. I'll come right to you right after I finish this up. Napoli have stepped up their efforts to sign Romelu Lukaku by offering Victor Osimhen to Chelsea. Napoli have valued Osimhen at about £90 million, which is a lot less than what I initially thought, which would require an adjustment of a transfer fees, as Chelsea have been keen to receive about £40 million for Romelu Lukaku. And then this is what we have here from DiMarzio. To yesterday, breaking: Chelsea are considering signing Osimhen permanently. Possible exchange with Lukaku plus cash. Then we have here more breaking from this source right here, Top Skills Sports UK. Not sure how reliable, but this is the rumor going around that breaking: Victor Osimhen has rejected PSG. This is because he is 100% waiting for Chelsea to seal the deal. Deal also advanced well between parties now. £10 million gross per year, 5-year contract with an option valid until June 2030, which we'll see details on the contract soon. Again, Mattini di Napoli. Napoli have made a proposal to Chelsea for a player exchange. Chelsea, and these are a few theories out there. Chelsea would sign Victor Osimhen. Napoli would get Romelu Lukaku, Cesar Casadei, and 45 million euros, which I believe this is the most likely outcome. But we'll continue with a few other ones. Been told it's 60 million euro fee plus 10 million euros add-ons, including Romelu Lukaku to Napoli for Victor Osimhen. Understand talks are now advancing well between parties than ever. Chelsea offered £10 million gross per year, 5-year contract valid until June 2029, 100% of the image rights as well to Victor Osimhen, which is big. And Napoli does, that's humongous.
It's huge.
That's so big.
So big for him, bro.
Ayo.
and
then the last
so
tweet.
Big. You have no idea how massive that is for him.
That is
it is a massive money.
That's a huge part of the fucking deal. And if he's willing to give that up too, is insane. And then the last tweet I have on this is: Napoli does not want to give up on Romelu Lukaku. For the first time today, Chelsea have showed they are willing to accept an amount lower than Romelu Lukaku's 43 million euro release clause. Napoli's initial offer was 25 euros plus 5 million euros bonuses. The parties remain in contact. Prime, go ahead and I guess catch me up on what you think about all this. Or what deal do you think is most likely too? That's another one.
I don't think it'd be that much. 70 to 80, even 90 mil, plus like Lukaku and Casadei, and some sort of like, it may not be written blank like that, but ultimately that's what it'll amount to. Like, I think between Chelsea and Victor that the personal terms and all of that stuff is kind of done, because we've been speaking to him for at least publicly
last summer,
since,
I believe, right?
January. Yeah, like we've speaking to him for so long, that side has to be already done, because we know his wages. There's no point in saying, "Oh, let's walk away now," when you've known him.
That's not the number. That's not the number.
It's 45 million euros EE.
Exactly. It equals to 9 million is what the number is.
I believe all of that is done. Now, in terms of the price for him, Napoli have to play ball to lower it a little, just like we have to play ball to lower down Lukaku's price. Both sides have to, like, Napoli have nothing in this. They have no leverage. PSG, he doesn't want to go there. He doesn't want to go Saudi. ADL, he's screwed. The way we've been able to outclass this man, this is one of the toughest guys to negotiate in world football, and we've managed to outclass him. It's a masterclass. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Here's the way I like to describe it, okay? Here's the way I like to describe it for people, okay? I like to describe it in the sense of opportunity cost, because of what it is for our team, because that's all I give a shit about, okay? That's all I give a shit about. With what Romelu Lukaku is to this team, he's essentially worth nothing. Okay? Like,
This is true.
I want this to be clear. He's essentially worth nothing. Okay? I understand he's an asset to people, and I understand that he has to leave for money. But to this team, he's essentially worth nothing. Okay? So now, just so people understand, that's Cassidy, who's around 15 million. They're going to give a discount on Lukaku. Okay? I know they will. All right?
Yeah.
They're going to end up giving a discount on Lukaku, which will end up being around 30 to 35 million. Okay?
Mhm.
And then you're going to give some cash on top, which would be around, in my opinion, you'd probably give him 40 to 50 million. I'd probably say closer to the 40 range than the 50 range.
Yeah.
Okay? When you add that all up of what the number of what it all ends up being, it ends up being around a $90 million deal. Like, plain and simple.
I think it'll be a bit more. Just because Napoli will want to save face and make it look as if Chelsea have spent over 100 mil, it'll probably be like, I think it'll be like 50-60 plus like bonuses, add-ons, and all of that shit. Yeah, and they'll so that it looks like it's 100 mil. You know what ADL's like. He's gonna want to save face. He's been embarrassed.
Plus bonuses and all that other shit. Yeah.
So they'll say it's £100 million deal when in reality it's not. Like what happened with Haaland.
Yeah. Yep, I understand. They really don't have a leg to stand on because Victor wants to leave. Right?
Yeah, he's made it really clear.
Conte wants Lukaku. Okay. The director of football at Napoli is the old Juve director, so he went and got Conte. So if you disrupt the Conte, the entire project just disappears. So you really don't have a choice. Conte already threatened to leave if they don't go and get the pieces that they want. He went out into the media and threatened to leave already. So so now we are ADL is in an impasse. He's gonna have to spend a $20 million exit fee on just sending Conte out, not including all the other coaching staff and everything else that they just signed. There's a lot more money that he has to potentially lose if he doesn't at least negotiate the deal to a simpler term in the end. He has to negotiate this deal out. He has to get Victor off the books, right? He has to get Victor off of his books, and he has to get Lukaku on and other pieces on. Like they want David Neres. They can't afford David Neres until this deal is done. David Neres is 30 million. Go look at Fabrizio just posted Napoli in for David, reposted that Napoli in for David Neres. They lost out on a deal for a center back because they couldn't afford him. A loan deal for £1 million. They couldn't afford him. This deal is crucial for them to be able to progress as a team. It's crucial. And people don't, exactly. Close to here we go. That you want to know what that means? They know that this deal is happening. They have this deal conceptually nearly done. I don't see it. Like, once again, this is one of them ones at this point where I just feel like Igbali walks in August. He's like, he puts his balls on the table and says, I'm getting the fucking shit done. Like, that's what it is.
Joey,
the season's about exactly to start. What I mean by that.
Joey,
I'm coming on your ass.
This is one of those.
I'm coming for that ass.
The season is about to start.
Yes.
We play Man City. Listen, I love Jackson, but once he misses that third big chance in the space of 25 minutes, we lose 2-0. The deal's done. We're going to wrap it up in a few days after that. So all I'm saying, The deal's going to get done quick.
Well, what I will say is that I have this tweet up for a reason. If this is true, right, that Osimhen agreed to 10 million, because I feel like the biggest obstacle wasn't the fee, right? The fee, I think we could have always paid. We saw that we were willing to pay 60 million for, quote unquote, an injury-prone player. Like Neto is an injury-prone player. Let's not beat around the bush. He's good, but he's injury-prone, right? So we're willing to pay 60 million for that type of a player. I think that shows that Chelsea are willing to splash the cash on a transfer fee, but it's a matter of the wages are always the most important thing, not so much the transfer fee. So
I disagree.
I think
Here's
the
thing,
wages
right?
the wages
Here's
is the
reason
biggest
why I
issue.
say
Yeah,
that,
go ahead.
right? Here's the reason why I say that. Earlier this month, after Olise, after the Olise news dropped and all like that we weren't going to get him and all this other shit, he was going to Bayern. Matt Law dropped an article about like what our this so-called wage structure is. Okay, because people just have this like assumption that we're not going to spend over 150K. Right?
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Right. They literally went and said, if the player has proven himself over year after year for club and country, they were willing to spend the wages on the player. Olise and Nico Williams did not fit those categories, and that's why we weren't going to get him. This is a 25-year-old should be the captain of his country. Like, let's be real. He should be the captain of his country.
Let me
The reason
go
why,
ahead, Prime.
The reason why I disagree with what you said about it's the wages, not the price, because he ultimately, he wants. I don't know how to explain this. We've known what he's wanted all along. We wouldn't still be talking to him if it's like. No, that's a dumb analogy to use. We've known what he's wanted for about a year. Nothing's changed. So why would we be still trying to pursue this guy if we thought we know what his wages are, we know what he wants. I believe we're willing to give it to him. The problem is the price, because remember, Napoli wanted 120 mil. They wanted over 100 mil for this guy, which I agree he's not worth over 100 mil. But the thing that puts everything in our favor is the fact they now have Conte. And also, no other club can really afford him. Arsenal can't, and they don't even want him. Man United can afford him. Spurs can afford him. City have Haaland. Real Madrid have Mbappe. Barca are in financial trouble. PSG can't afford him. They're in financial trouble, and he doesn't want to go to Saudi. We're the only club that actually wants him. Everything falls in our favor. Everything is in our favor.
We have made enough sales to get this done. We made enough sales to get this done. Like
so
especially
it's not
after
the price.
Gallagher. It's not necessarily the price. It's the total package. It's the agent fees and like these extra things like that. There's situations that people that are like just looking at this from like the top level, from just like looking at the top level of this and seeing that like the reports and that's all they're reading. They're just looking at that, but there's like the deeper aspect of it is Victor's agent has 3 people on his agency. Victor is the biggest one of the 3.
Yes.
And the agency is getting shut down next year. Like there's so much more like to this story. Like there's a reason why they want it to be loan with a loan, because next year the agent's going to be different. Like because then the agent fee will end up dropping. Like that. Like there's so much more to this. There's so much more to this
so
that I could go into. That it that's why it's so complicated in the end. Where it's like, as much as it's complicated on the Victor side, you still have to get the other two deals on top of it that they're potentially saying that they want to get done as well. The Cassidy and the Lukaku deal. So, like, this is a extremely complicated deal. If you remember the Douglas Luiz deal, it took almost 2 weeks to get that shit done. Like, and that was the same amount of players. It was 3 players involved in the deal and cash. So it's like it's similar in the sense of like structure, but we're talking about a player that's worth almost twice as much as what Douglas Luiz was, and has a very, very, very rough agency that you're working with. So it's like, what are you gonna do?
Here's the thing. Going back to what you were saying, which I remember that article that Matt Law wrote, right, about the club doesn't necessarily have anything against giving higher wages than over 150 and stuff. And mind you, I don't necessarily believe that 150 wage cap. I don't. But I feel like you kind of hit the nail on the head, and you kind of hit that point of proven for club and country. I think it's very likely that when this recruitment team and this structure that we have in place came in, Osimhen was, without any doubt, the best striker in the world. Right? He had that spectacular one of them. But I think he in that season where we've had the recruitment instilled, he was the best striker in the world. Because of the season he had at Napoli, Kvaratskhelia as well, the season they had. Kvaratskhelia, you could say, possibly the best winger that season in the world as well. Maybe next to Mbappe, but that's besides the point. So in the following season, when he doesn't put up the numbers close, and I know there's context to it, all right? We don't have to go over the context necessarily. I understand there is context to it, new management, injuries, so on and so forth. But when he doesn't put up the numbers equal to what he did the season prior, I could understand the club having speculation about, okay, is he actually that striker that we thought he was, that is worth giving him the over 200K a week or whatever he's asking for in wages? He just signed a new deal with Napoli as well, which makes this a little bit more complex than it was originally. I feel like there's a few other contexts and details that made it a little bit more complicated to necessarily make him that proven striker, if you know what I'm saying.
You're right, Marshall. But what we just saw over the past 24 hours is he's given new deals to Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson. So this ownership are showing they're backing up of, fine, we may sign you to like a lesser deal than you may want, Victor. But if you come into Chelsea, you hit 20 goals in the league, you're top goal scorer, second top goal scorer, you fire us the top 4, you win the FA Cup or whatever, you hit those incentives, you will automatically get a new deal. That's what Palmer just did. That's what Jackson just did.
Yeah, I get that. But do you think that maybe Osimhen might be a little bit like, listen, I'm earning more than that without incentives at where I am right now. I don't want to deduce my wages because one of my who knows? I'm speculating, man, what the incentives are.
To be honest, man, he really doesn't. It's getting to a point for him. If that's the case, he really doesn't have much of a choice either, bro. Like you're gonna sit on.
And I'm not saying he should get paid.
Which is why Napoli doesn't even wait it out.
And Napoli doesn't have any leg to stand on because they're not even in Champions League either. They're not in any Europe. So it's like what type of leg do they have to stand on?
Yeah.
Maybe not 120, but like I think we can give him between like 150 to like 180, 185.
Listen, if it were up to me, by the way, boys, I'm just saying right now because I'm not against giving him a decent wage. If it were up to me, I'd easily give him 200K a week, like without a doubt. And then if you want to earn more, like 250, 270, incentives.
I think you could still give him 200K, bro. I really do. I don't see why you can't give him 200K.
I don't either, to be honest.
I don't see any reason why you can't give him 200K. 200K and you give him majority of his image rights, the kids love.
Oh, 100%. I think that's partially why this deal is advancing, if that's true.
Yeah.
Bro,
Yeah, you know what?
giving him all
If
his
you give him
image
his
rights-
image rights, bro, like that the
Do you know
wages
how
don't
much-
mean shit after that.
Do you know
bro.
Yeah,
how much of
100%.
a
It really
master
doesn't.
class-
It's peanuts. It's peanuts.
100%.
It's literally
You know how much-
peanuts, bro.
do you know
That's
how
what I'm
much of a
trying to
master
tell
class-
people. It's peanuts.
You know how much of a how much of a masterclass that is. You know how people don't like, because like they're not African or they just don't know. People don't know how marketable Victor is. People don't know how marketable like Drogba or
Yeah,
they're like
100%.
Eto'o.
I understand.
are-
I don't know, but I understand. Like,
Oh.
I know Osimhen's huge in Africa.
This is not like just saying Harry Kane.
And it's not just one country.
It's the
It's
whole
crazy.
continent.
It's the
a whole
continent. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. So that's a huge detail if that is true that they get and I think that might be
Yeah.
why they're like, okay, you know what, we'll pay you
Even
the
if at-
wages, but we get 100%
Bro,
of your
even
rights.
at 80, bro, even at 80, 70 or
Yeah.
80%, bro, it's disgusting money, bro.
And you know what?
Bro,
You know what?
Disgusting
I
money.
just, you know what? Tin hat,
It's
Joey, can you put the
disgusting
tinfoil hat on real quick for me? I need to, you know what? I think this is what possibly could have happened. They found out, they made progress with the deal with Osimhen, right? They found out, oh, we can have 100% of your image rights and you're cool with that? Okay, you know what? Let's try to find a way to scrap the Moriera deal because he doesn't want to give us any of his image rights. And boom, that's how you have this happen. It could actually,
Yeah,
that could actually be why.
It could end up being anything, bro. If we get the image rights, give him whatever he wants in wages.
Mhm.
It's that simple, in my opinion. It's
Very
literally
true.
that simple, in my
Yeah.
opinion. If we get the image
Bro,
rights, give him
bro,
what he wants.
People don't
It's
understand.
that simple. It's really not that difficult,
Bro.
in my opinion. Like,
People don't understand, right? Victor Osimhen is a Nigerian, born and raised in Nigeria, and his idol is Didier Drogba, who's from Ivory Coast. People don't understand how big you are in Africa as a superstar. Kudus, he's one of the biggest He's from Ghana. He's one of the biggest superstars in Africa. People don't understand how massive
true.
it is. Sadio Mane, when he was at Liverpool, global
Oh,
superstar.
100%, yeah.
Kolo Toure, Yaya Toure, Mohamed Salah. People don't realize how it's an entire continent. It's not just Musiala, who's big in Germany.
show up,
nowhere
bro.
else.
Show
It's a
up.
big
Oh,
continent, bro. You don't realize how crazy that is.
Yeah.
You don't realize
So-
the money that you're making from that, bro. If we sign
100%.
Osimhen, we have the monopoly over Africa again, just like we had with Drogba. We're
That'd be pretty
continuing
crazy.
that.
That's
It's
huge.
crazy. Automatically,
Yeah.
you're having kids growing up now who are 6, 7, 8 years old. Victor's their idol. They're looking up to him.
Well, and time will tell if this is actually a true source, Snacks. I see your comment. Listen, apparently, DeMartz is saying we've made progress, right? And that we are open to a permanent deal. If this is true about the image rights, it makes more sense that we're willing to do the wages because it seems like the
Right,
wages
but-
was a big sticking
But yo,
point.
if we get the image rights, give him the 10, 11, 12 million a year. Who gives a shit? You'll make that shit back, bro. Like that's the thing that people like are not. They'll make that shit back, bro. Like
Yeah.
just on commercially in Africa and in jersey sales. Like they'll make that
Yeah.
shit back, bro. Like
By the way,
seriously. 10
By the
million a
way-
year, by the way, is 208K. That's
Yeah.
perfect.
big up to Auto
give him
Mention,
that number, bro.
who donated, super chatted 200. I don't know what currency that is. I'm sorry. But thank you for the super chat. And it reads, love you guys, first super chat ever. Thanks for sharing my love for the Blues. And of course, man, we all love we're all Chelsea fans here. We all want the club to succeed. At least I want the club to succeed. I can't speak for everyone on Chelsea YouTube. But Surfer then says here, doesn't that actually read as if we offered him 100% mage rights or image
Bro.
image rights?
Image rights. Yeah.
I feel like
bro,
just a
regardless,
detail,
point is, this whole contract side of it should be able to get done.
yeah. I agree.
Like that's the whole point that I've been trying to make to people that they do not grasp yet. Oh,
Mhm.
try to do math with gross and net and trying to do maths like they smart people. Bro, just go to Capology. They verify everything. And they tell you when it's not verified. So it's as simple as that. You go and you look at how much the guy's making. Can we offer something like that to that player? He's making less than what Reece James is making. He's making less than what Lukaku and Sterling are making at this current moment. So yes, we can offer it. And we're moving from Lukaku's wages. So it leaves a big gap in wages that we can fill. In the end, at this current moment, I think the offer that PSG gave him was 14 million. Okay, as on his contract, that's still 50,000 a week less than what Lukaku made. He's making at our club at the current moment.
And that's always how I saw it too.
That's still 50,000 a week less than what Lukaku's making at this club at this current moment. So like, you're gonna move on from Cassidy on top of it. You're gonna probably be moving on from Kepa. You're gonna be probably moving on from 9 other players, and you're telling me that you can't put a 200 bags a week onto the wage bill?
Yeah.
Move on, bro.
But that's always how I saw it too, because you're simply just replacing those wages that you're already paying with a cheaper wage, and it still gives you closer to that goal of reducing the wage structure. I know they're trying to really like get it to a certain amount average, but regardless, like it's progress. You got to take progress where you can get it sometimes.
If you're trying to sign a superstar, you're gonna have to make some sort of concessions.
Yep.
And you'll make it, and not
okay.
just the money side of it too. Like when later on we are trying to sign more young African players, having someone like Victor, like Jackson, that can try and speak to them and say, don't go to Man City or don't go to Real Madrid, come to Chelsea.
Yeah. We essentially have that with John Obi and Didier, who were a big part of the negotiations. Yeah.
Well, back then we had a contingency. We had Essien, we had Mikel, we had Kalu, we had Drug, but we had a contingency, and like it kept on. Like when we wanted to get another one, like Mikel, he looks at the team, he's like, I got my people's here. You know what I'm saying? When he looks at Manchester United, he sees a bunch of Dutch people. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Joe, Kudus might be available next summer. Who better to talk to him than Victor and Jackson? That's all I'm saying.
Doesn't he have a release clause? He should be available.
Habibi, Lashou. I'm going to talk to you in Arabic now. Lashou. Like, for what, Habibi? Like, what do we need Kudus for?
Why would Kudus go to Man City? Why would Kudus go to Man City? They don't have any Africans. From Chelsea.
I'm telling you, probably the Liverpool about to drop the bag on Kudus. After they lose Salah, I think they drop the bag.
I can see that.
They probably will. But my point is, maybe we can try and talk to him with our players. Maybe. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's potential. I think, we're obviously going to keep an eye on this, and it's very exciting to see that we're making progress. I really, really hope that it doesn't collapse or there's some type of curveball like we've seen a lot happen this window. I really hope this is straightforward.
With this deal, it looks way more straightforward than what Meridian did. Just because of what Meridian felt like as a player. We're going for a player. The only true curveball is if he actually can't pass it. That's what would be the only real true curveball.
Jesus Christ! Yeah,
even then, it's even then, most players that are even injured can pass medical. We didn't. I don't even believe the whole Meridian didn't pass medical thing. I just think they saw his ankle was we'll just use this.
Nah, I don't think it was that. I think what they did was the image rights thing. I looked at that when it came out that's so fishy. That's so fishy. Bro, so fishy.
50%, bro.
So fishy.
Yeah.
I think they saw. I think they made some headway with Victor, and they were like, Yeah, let me just.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's when
That's
when
where
I
I think that's
came to
why
that
I
epiphany.
think the contract side of things is way further than we expect it is. Like I think
Yeah.
it's way that the whole Meridian situation is why I think that situation is like way further ahead than we even think it is at this current moment.
But even if the funds aren't there for Osimhen, it doesn't mean we can't get the funds. And that leads me to my next topic, actually, is some movements happening in Cobham. And as you guys know, we have a pretty bloated squad right now, but there's a lot of players that we're trying to offload. So we're going to go through a few of them here. So first thing that I have here from Nazar Cancella is Chelsea are selling Mason Burstow on a permanent to Hull City. The club are ready to sell a host of players who did not make it on the USA preseason tour. We have here also, which you touched upon, Prime, Angelo. Chelsea are set to loan Angelo out again, and this time have open talks to loan him to Turkish side Besiktas, which I think that's a really solid loan. But we'll come back to that in a minute. Alex Matos apparently also wants to go play in France. Lens is interested, but Strasbourg is also an option. And goddamn it, Strasbourg
That's
is
a permanent
always
deal, by the way.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, it has to be a permanent deal for Strasbourg. I don't think they can do any more loans. Also, coming back to the Burstow thing, Chelsea striker Mason Burstow closing in on a permanent deal, permanent move to Hull City, and Chelsea striker Burstow closing in.
They're doing all over again 3 times in a row.
The club are ready to sell. Yeah, I really did it 3 times in a row. And then apparently, Axel Disasi, this one was surprising. Axel Disasi is attracting interest from France and Italy as he considers his Chelsea future, according to Simon Jones. But I mean, Prime, I'll go to you because you had mentioned Angelo. Besiktas. I think that seems like a really solid move for Angelo's career. I'm not going to lie. In terms of a loan and then coming back to Chelsea. But go ahead.
I think his Chelsea career is done now. It's done.
You think he's going to be a for-profit player?
Besiktas. I'm sorry. He's better than Besiktas.
Do you think so? I think Besiktas would be a solid club.
All right, I gotta head out though. I'm gonna run to Ahmed's stream.
Go ahead, Joey. You're good to go,
See
man.
everybody.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on.
Of course.
So go ahead, Prime.
Anytime. I want to send me the link whenever you guys go live. Put me in like the group or whatever. I'd love to come on.
I'll do it, man. No worries. Also, guys, if you haven't done so already, I just added Joey's link in the description. So go ahead, check out his channel, show him some love down in the link below. You see it at the bottom of the description. I'll put it in the chat as well. Actually, I'll just put it in the chat right now. But yeah, check out his channel. I didn't know you had a channel. Otherwise, I would have been doing this a lot sooner. But yeah, his channel is in the chat as well if you want to go out there and check Joey's channel. But yeah. Appreciate you coming on, and I'll be sending you the link going forward. I'll add you to the group chat.
Cool. Sounds good. Talk to you later.
Later, brother. But yeah, Prime, you don't think Angelo for Besiktas? I feel like Besiktas is a much more competitive club than Strasbourg, in my opinion.
Unless he was going to like Fenerbahce, where Jose is. But no, he's better than Besiktas, bro. He's better.
You think Jose's going to dominate that league this season?
Maybe not this season, but I think he will eventually win the Turkish league. But yeah, Angelo, he's better than Besiktas, bro. His quality, like, he could get a Premier League loan.
Yeah. I could see a Premier League loan to something like since Olise. Yeah, exactly. You read my mind. Exactly. Since Olise is left, I think Palace could use someone on the right wing that can be creative, like an Angelo. He might not be as good as Olise, but that's okay. I mean, you get someone in there who has a good body and an able body and a potential really good prospect that could play in that position, and you can develop him at Crystal Palace. But I don't know. I feel like Besiktas is a decent loan. It's a reputable team. I hope he plays. That's the other thing too. If he plays, then that's a good. I think it's a decent loan for him. If he doesn't play, then well, shit. Like, it sucks because then we picked the wrong team for him again. But I will say, like, the Sassy links are. I'm not surprised by Burstow or Alex Matos. Those are. I felt like from the get-go, those are always going to go. They never really, like, impressed me, for lack of a better term, in a way where I was like, oh my God, we can't get rid of this player, right? But Axel Disasi, I feel like he had a pretty solid showing last season. I know people like to rag on him a lot, but I feel like, I mean, I feel like I'd want to have him for another season to really see what he can do in this system. We haven't even seen him play on Nebraska. But if this is true, I mean, maybe for 35 or 40, like what we bought him for, maybe he's worth more. I feel like, you know, I don't know. I'm hesitant to get rid of Disasi. I don't know if you feel the same, Prime.
Oh no, I'd rather keep Disasi and get rid of the other two City girls that we have. Fucking strict. But
did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. I feel like Disasi hasn't really put too many. People wanted to sell me this narrative that Disasi has all these errors. He's got that bozo gene. Other than the silly own goal he had last season, and maybe I think that was more Sanchez. I think that was miscommunication between both Sanchez and him. And then he got spun by Mo Salah in the beginning of the season last season, which it's fucking Mo Salah. No, it wasn't Mo Salah. I'm sorry. It was oh my God, Antonio. Other than that, I don't think Disasi really put too much of a foot wrong in this team, and he was forced to play right back at times. I feel like Disasi gets a shit end of the stick a lot.
No, you're right. I'd keep him. I think he can be. Again, I think he's a good squad player. I think he's a very good squad player. I'd rather have him in the squad over Chalobah, and I think Disasi can be a good backup to Tosin in the middle of that back three. Now, if we end up selling Chalobah and Disasi, and then we end up signing a proper quality centre back, I'm cool with it.
Who would you have in mind, though? Because Todibo's off the market now. He's at West Ham. He was one of the few that I was thinking like he's a good center back we could sign.
I don't know how good Todibo is. I haven't watched it. Apparently, we're linked with Bremer. I was talking to CP earlier today. Apparently, we're linked with Bremer. But yeah, Emilian Skriniar, I'd take. I'd love to take Bastoni. I don't think that's possible. But I think we need to. If there's, I don't even know. I think Vega could play that left center back role. So
that is true. Vega could potentially. Yeah, no, actually he can. We've seen it happen. In what club did he come from again? I forgot what club.
Basel.
Excuse me. Basel. Yeah, we've seen him do it at Basel. He's able to play that whole left area. So, but yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one. I don't know if I want to move this guy on. I feel like we need our center backs right now, because we need to find our best pairing. And right now, the defensive shape, it needs to pattern up a little more. I'm not saying it's horrible. I think it is going to get better, and it has already from preseason. And we haven't seen what Axel Disasi can do there. I remember when Axel came into this team, by the way, he had, from Monaco, he had really good passing accuracy stats. Like he could play from the back, and that suits a Maresca style system. Now, whether or not he was able to do it with Pochettino and the way he played football, that's to be seen. Because maybe Pochettino had a different role for him in that team, and it was more for Thiago Silva. But I need to remind people that Axel Disasi is also could be considered a ball-playing center back, or a playmaking center back, if you want to call him that. The stats at Monaco do show that, like, he has the ability to play from the back like a Thiago Silva would, which again, I think that's very much fitting for the Maresca system. But when he gets back from his injury, we will see. He did suffer a hernia injury last season. Starting to see a trend now with hernias.
He is a leader.
Yeah, that's true. He's a big personality. Yeah,
not just amongst the French contingent in the squad, but there's a lot of people in the squad that view him as a leader.
Yeah,
I wouldn't, unless we bring in a quality centre back. That's my only That's my only thing with it.
Yeah, and you know, again, going off of what you said about the leadership thing, I think in terms of a personality as well, I like that what Vega did in the last game, where he's kind of trying to now bond with the fans, which I think we need more of that fan to player connection, really, especially when it comes to the first team. Axel Disasi has done that to a T, and I think he genuinely really rates being at Chelsea. He really wants to be here. We need players that want to be at Chelsea. I think that's an important part to having these players actually step up and perform when needed. So that's something that maybe gets overlooked a lot, but I'm not saying that's the end all be all. If you're not good enough, obviously you should be sold, but I don't think Axel Disasi falls into that category. So it's just another plus to add to Axel Disasi's repertoire of good things to check mark off. So we got one more topic before we end the show today. Just because I don't feel like dragging this out. I don't have to talk about anything else other than one last thing. But if you're here and you've been enjoying the show, go ahead, smash the like button if you haven't done so already. If you're new to the channel, welcome to Casually FC. Welcome to the Casually Chelsea show, where we talk about all things that have happened since our last Casually Chelsea show in a nice 3-hour-esque podcast style format for those of you guys to enjoy, possibly at work or wherever you are, just in the background. Or if you want to be here in the live chat, this is a live chat experience for you guys as well. But thank you so much for being here. The last story that I want to end on is on Diego Moriera, pretty much. Apparently, he's going to Strasbourg. It's not a here we go yet. I don't think so. But it's getting really close, and this is another player that didn't get brought to the U.S. tour, and it's looking very likely that, it's because he was just going to get moved on. And I'll be honest, he never really impressed me either. He wasn't one that I was like, oh, I see potential. Like, he never really tickled my fancy like that. Also, pause. But we have here from Sasha Tavolieri more details on Diego Moriera's deal to Racing Strasbourg. Been told it's going to be a permanent move, as Strasbourg can't welcome new players on loan anymore. Chelsea will bid 2 million euros in return, or no? Chelsea will. What does it mean? Chelsea FC will 2 million euros in return and should include a buyback option in the contract. So Chelsea will get 2 million euros in return and should include a buyback option in the contract, which, okay, I think that's a safe way to go about it, just to make sure in case he does, because he was at some point a very promising prospect. If he were to reach those levels, we have an option to buy him back, which is, I think, good to have. Strasbourg are set to sign Chelsea's Portuguese winger Diego Moriera. If it's not known, it will be a loan or permanent move. It needs to be clarified, but we kind of already know it's going to be a permanent move. Diego Moriera will be loaned to Strasbourg, which don't think is true either, considering Strasbourg already has too many loans. And then we have here Diego Moriera move to Strasbourg will be permanent for £1.7 million, and a buyback will be included, according to Sasha Tavolieri. And I think one more tweet here. Strasbourg has completed a deal to sign Diego Moriera from Chelsea on a permanent move, according to Fabrizio Romano. I didn't see that, so my bad. It is a permanent move now. So, yeah. So, Strasbourg, permanent move for Moriera. Will he perform there? Will he do well? Who knows, but I mean, Prime, I don't know if you're like me and never really cared for this player, to be honest.
I don't know who he is, so.
Fair enough. Yeah, Moriera.
No,
Listen, there's not much to.
It's a shame because he seems like he really likes the club. He really likes Chelsea, so I guess it's a shame. But you don't make the cut, so, and we're going to make profit, so it is what it is.
Yeah. Again, it is what it is. There's not really much to add to this. I mean, it's just another player that we have on. We did move on to Strasbourg, and I kind of wish that we had another club to do this for, because I feel like we're putting way too many of our investments into Strasbourg, and I feel like we should be more spread out. And we should do signings for Strasbourg. Yeah,
what we were
I feel
trying
like
to
we're
do,
jumping the
but
gun. Yeah,
I
feel
don't
like
think we are.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I think people. I'm not saying you're doing this, by the way, but our fan base and even rivals, they love to complain about what's going on. But in reality, if we were doing better on the pitch, no one would care.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all the stuff Roman did and got away with because we were winning the Champions League, we won a league title, etc. No one cares when you're doing well on the pitch.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just for me again, like you said. Right now, everyone is looking for something to pin against the club and just against the ownership and all this and how they're doing things and mind you, there is some valid criticism out there, but I feel like a lot of it's overinflated. And the Strasbourg move, listen, I think we got him on a free. We got 1.2 or 1.7 euros out of it, pounds out of it. So be it. It's fine. I mean, the sale is basically a loan buyback clause in there. Yeah, exactly. So who knows if he does kick off, if he does develop. I know Leon's stint didn't go too well for him. Then he was put into the U21s, and we flipped him pretty quick. I thought we would actually hold on to the investment a little longer, but we do need to make space in the club. Some signings didn't show much in terms of prospect. And it is what it is. He gets moved on. This is Chelsea. It's always been Chelsea. It's not the first time we did this. We did this on the Roman too. So it is what it is. Any final thoughts, Prime, before we end the show?
You guys did a show without me when you spoke about Reece James injury.
You never showed up. You showed up at the end. You know it's a 3-hour show. You showed up at 2:45. 2 hours 45 minutes into it.
You
were busy
about staying on time, but yeah, can we speak about that now? Or
I'll let you. Yeah, I'll let you speak on it while I go use the restroom real quick.
Oh no, because I need you.
Oh,
I wanted to know what was your take and what was everyone else's take.
My take is that I'm not worried about the injury now because it's only a partial part of the picture. I always stand that I have to look at the big picture. And if the big picture is that he was out for more than 25% of the season, then I think we need to have discussions about him being sold. And I wouldn't mind him leaving the club if we get a good fee out of it. That's where I stood with that. So right now, okay, it's a minor injury. He could come back by September, by the time his ban is done, right? Which I find really odd, the timing of it all. It could be propaganda to an extent. Who knows? But again, and I think Chris even agrees to a certain extent too. If he does spend, I think he's more lenient though. If it's like 50%. I'm at 25%. If he spends more than 50% of the season injured, I think Reece said if he plays 30 games, which that's going to be a reach, to be honest. Chris said if he plays 30 games, then he should stay. But if he doesn't have 30 games, then I think in general.
Okay, that's fine. So
I don't think, depending on what happens this season, I don't even know if he gets injured again, I don't think he's hitting 30 games. Again, 25% of the season is a good portion of the season.
Okay. Now, sorry, Marshall, you can go use the bathroom.
Do your thing. I'll be right back.
So, the way is Marshall actually gone? Oh, cool. The way this fan base is trying to turn on Reece James. When I've been saying this for 2 years now, over 2 years. I find it disgusting. Oh, because of a little knock where he's out for a couple of weeks, now you want to sell him. But when I was having this conversation, last summer, you laughed at me. When I had this conversation last year, you laughed at me. When I had this conversation that during before the World Cup that he should get surgery, I got abuse. But now you want to sell him because of a little knock. No, you don't have the right. You don't have the right. You don't have the right. How do I feel on this? I think I don't think it's necessarily that much of a big issue. Like, he's gonna be out anyway because of that red card thing that he got end of last season. So cool. Then by the time the suspension is over, he'll be fit and he can play. But yeah, I've been saying, if you're missing half of our games this season, you've got to go, because
that's being generous.
That could be, yeah. But if you miss half of our games, you've got to go, because who knows when that half will fall. That could fall during an important part of our season where we'll actually need you. So,
I think 25% is a decent number, because if you got surgery for the one thing that's been hampering you, it should be fixed. And if it's so bad to the point where like it can't be fixed through surgery, bro, I don't think there's faith for you. And I know it's one of the hamstrings you got surgery on. Maybe it could be the other one where it could be the hamstring tear. But regardless, like, come on, dude.
Also, what Lavia did, Marshall, do you still have that tweet?
No.
Okay.
But there was a bunch of tweets. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. When Lavia, how he had basically someone with them during the summer to help him stay fit. I think Reece needs that, because I don't want to make a joke about his weight, but he does seem to have a problem where when he gets injured or he's out for a little period of time, he tends to put on a bit of weight.
Mm-hmm.
I think he needs help with just staying completely fit. I don't know whether he needs to talk to Lavia or talk to Thiago Silva, because he seems to know how to do strength and conditioning and keep his body in check, and he's 40 years old. He needs to do something, because he's our best player. I'll say this, he is our best player. It's not Cole Palmer. It's not Nkuku. Reece is our best player. And we can't have our best player consistently breaking down when we need him.
I feel like Reece is a gym rat, and people think when he looks bigger it's because he's eating like shit and he's getting fat, and I think he's just building muscle, and he needs to stop building so much muscle.
No,
like that's what I think.
No, but that's what I said though. He needs someone to help him keep his weight, his physique in check. Because do you not notice since he's been at Chelsea how he fluctuates up and down? He can't keep doing that.
Maybe I've noticed that. I don't know. I feel like I don't notice it as much as other people seem to. He looks the same to me.
And I'm not talking.
I mean, he bulked up
just,
since. Yeah.
I'm not talking about being fat, by the way. I'm talking about like his actual physique has been fluctuating. Sure. He can't be doing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Listen, I'm not going to also deny the fact that like after he won the Champions League, or after one season, he did like take it seriously. He went to Abu Dhabi early and all that stuff with the trainer and stuff, met up with the team and all that.
That was after he won the Champions League.
Yeah, it was after they won the Champions League, and then he got hurt for the rest of the season later on. But I mean, time will tell. I want to see what happens for the rest of the season, and if he gets hurt again, then we're having this discussion, and we're gonna have to have the uncomfortable conversation of, is this the guy that should we sell this guy on or should we keep him? And I agree. So we'll see.
I was watching a couple of days ago. I was watching tapes of the 2020-2021 season and the 2021-2022 season.
He was a lot leaner then.
He looks completely different completely different.
He was a lot leaner then. Yeah, for sure. Time will tell. I mean, again, I'm also not an expert, so I'm not going to sit here and say like, oh, that's why he has hamstring issues. It could be. It probably is because you're putting more weight and more strain on your feet and your legs and all the muscles there. But again, time will tell. I want to see what happens the rest of the season, and I want to see if he fixes the issue. And if he does, then awesome. I think we can have a discussion of James figuring it out and staying at the club. If not, someone call Real Madrid or whoever. Let's try to get some money out of this guy. And people are going to say, oh, pure profit. Like, no, dude, he's just not fit to stay at the club. He's just not. We got rid of N'Golo Kante. And he was a brilliant player, but yeah.
When I say it, I'm trolling.
That's because you say you're trolling sometimes. You give off mixed signals, Prime. That's the thing. And that's why he has the shades on. Any final thoughts?
Yeah. Also, I saw Chelsea fan saying that, oh, when we signed Victor Osimhen, that Cole Palmer is off penalties. Nah.
You don't think so?
No way. And Kuku took penalties at Leipzig, and Cole Palmer saw that penalty taker. No, I'm not doing that.
That's going to be an interesting one when it happens. We'll see. But all right.
Do you know what? Okay, you don't. At AFCON, Victor did not take a single penalty for Nigeria. Our center back took our pens.
Fair enough. So yeah, Cole Palmer's staying the penalty taker. Yeah.
Yes.
And Kuku could be the backup, and then Meadow can be the backup to the backup.
Personally, I want Reece James to be our penalty taker, but he's never fit. So
fair enough. All right. That being said, I'm going to call it right here. Ladies and gents, thank you so much for joining us today on the Casually Chelsea show. Thank you for getting us over 100 likes. It's been a long time since we got over 100 likes, so hopefully we keep the momentum going. Hopefully Saturday we have a show for you guys. It'll be the premiere, or not premiere. It'll be the preview for Man City versus Chelsea, and I do, as always, have a special guest for that one. So yeah, tune in for that. We'll have a nice panel for that one, and we'll have a good time previewing the Man City game, the first game of the season, ladies and gents, mind you. And then Sunday we'll be back as well to review the first game of the season. Hopefully it's a win. I'm not holding my breath. It's more than likely going to be a loss, but who knows? You never know. Man City are not the best either. Oscar Bob, hopefully he gets better, but he's not going to be available. He's a really outstanding player in their preseason. But yeah, guys, so stay tuned, subscribe so you can tune in when the day those streams go live as well. Yeah, be on the lookout for more content. We're going to be absolutely steamrolling with content now that the season is kicking up again. We have transfer rumors to discuss as well and all sorts of things. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, ladies and gents, we're on our way to 3K subscribers. So if you haven't done so already, smash the subscribe button and also smash the like button if you haven't done so already. Thank you for tuning in today. Hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever we go live. Check out the links in the description to everyone's content, including Prime. You have your TikTok down there as well as your Twitter. So check out the content there for Prime as well. Leave a comment below. Let us know your thoughts on everything we discussed today. And then last but not least, check out the memberships. There's 4 different tiers starting at 99p. If you don't already know, we do give shout outs for people at the proper casual and higher tiered. And those people are going to be Adrian, EE, Hassan Nawaz, Uncle Gestures FC, Will, Dark, A. Soliman, Scott, I believe DHL is on the list. I have to rewrite this list. I forget who else is on that list. I owe you a shout at the beginning of the next show. Sorry. But yeah, there are more of you guys who are proper casuals on that list, I'll get you added and we'll give you a shout out on the next show. And big up as well to the panel we had today. We're going to raid out to Ahmed, who is currently streaming, and he's on there with Joey. Hopefully, maybe something breaks out while he's on stream. But yeah, let him know where you're coming from by copying and pasting the message in the chat. And we'll see you guys again on Saturday. Until then, as always, stay casual. Peace.